A lot of interesting topics to touch base on. We got a little game film at the end of this, but you guys definitely check out Syed's newsletter below. And we're going to do a nice weekly recap right now. Get it in.
Also, subscribe to Orange Cookies.
Oh, appreciate you. Definitely do.
Yes, sir.
And we got to start things off with Dion Waiters. Dion actually spoke on some of the dynamics that played out after KD and Westbrook was down 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals. So he kind of gave some insight to that season. Surprisingly, he let it be known that guys were not as close as we thought they were. Because, of course, everyone knows that, KD left Russell Westbrook hanging. He went to Golden State. But at the end of the day, Dion is letting everyone know, hey, these guys, they weren't really best of friends when I first got there.
Yeah.
And then, that season ended with us blowing the 3-1 lead. But yeah, let's check out what some of the insight Dion gave us on the Russell Westbrook KD dynamic when he first showed up to OKC.
I learned how to be a pro there, but there's a lot going on. Like, you got superstars over there. And just a lot going on, bro. Like, from the outside looking in, you're thinking it's one way until you get there, and it's not what it really seems to be. Like, guys like got along, but when you watch it from afar, like guys are closer than what it's like guys are closer from afar, and then when you get there, it's like whoa, I mean, damn, I'm thinking, but we still should have went to the finals. That 3-1, freaked it off. I hate talking about it. But OKC just was like, there was a lot going on, bro. It was a lot of different, I want to say hitting agendas. It was just a lot of tension. I would just say tension. That's all.
My man Dion sound like he's still on those edibles in Miami, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's legit. It's probably the way he just got the audio, but it was a dope interview. I mean, that is some real scoop, though. I'm not gonna lie, because people did not know that they had tension like that. At the end of the day, people did not know that, because from afar it looked like they were best friends, and the narrative was when Durant had went to Golden State was, wow, he left his boy hanging, and they were really not boys like that.
But the thing is, people remember Kevin Durant thanking Russell Westbrook in his MVP speech.
He did, but a lot of that, you see, Kevin Durant, OKC, we really never got to see the real him, because remember, they had him walking around with a Bible, and that wasn't his personality. Yeah. So it was almost like, he just showed up to the league. They were OKC kind of was trying to brand him a certain way, especially entering into that market. There was a lot of phoniness with KD. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it was his fault, but I'm talking about his image. Like, he was trying to portray a certain image. He was walking around with the Bible everywhere. And it's like, where did that come from all of a sudden? So with this little scoop that Dion Waiters just gave us, I don't know. I don't think things were, of course we're seeing now, things are not really as tight as everyone thought it was between him and Westbrook. And I think things were blowing up in that series where they blew the 3-1 lead with Westbrook making all these crazy decisions. I think Durant just had enough of it, man. Durant just had enough. And OKC wasn't going to do shit about it. They were invested into the whole Westbrook thing.
They weren't or were invested? Because I feel like they were invested in the Westbrook thing.
I said, yeah, my bad. I said they were invested into this whole Westbrook thing. Because you could tell the coach that they had, he never held Westbrook to any type of standard once KD left. They let Westbrook, stat pad, collect rebounds, triple-double machine, but a lot of that was kind of like forced. You know what I mean? It just wasn't organic. What's the name of the coach? Was it Billy Donovan?
Billy Donovan.
Yeah. He never really held Westbrook to a standard.
But I'm going to be honest, Westbrook was much more liked in the locker room than Kevin Durant.
He was, but at the end of the day, if you were going to win, think about it. KD went to the finals with Westbrook. Ever since then, we've seen James Harden. We've seen LeBron. We've never seen another superstar even come close to getting out of the first round with Westbrook. That's how good KD was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he took that man to the finals. That man has not looked the same since losing to a rookie Donovan Mitchell in the first round, losing to Dame in that weak-ass Portland Trailblazers team, which really wasn't that good.
That was an overrated team.
Yeah, that was an
Dude,
overrated
Enes Kanter
team.
was their starting center. Enes Kanter was their starting center.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah.
How the hell Westbrook got Carmelo and Paul George, and he has that deep team. That bench was pretty good. They had Steven Adams at center. Like, that was a decent squad.
Nah, I don't think their bench was that deep. I'm gonna be honest. Like, from what I remember, that 2017 team we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Or 2019.
I think it was like 2018, probably 2019.
2019.
But regardless,
because I don't remember they having a bench. I thought they were just strong, like starting five. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but think about it. Regardless, they underperformed. They lost
they
rookie
did.
Donovan Mitchell the year before. Then they lost to Damian Lillard, which like you said, with Enes Kanter as the starting center. The next year, they had no business losing. Why is CJ McCollum and Dame eliminating Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo? That doesn't even make any sense. That don't even add up. That don't add up. But at the end of the day, these guys were not really tight. They were not really tight. And then things were kind of falling apart way before Durant made the decision to take his talents to Golden State.
Both players are great in their own world. Both players are top of their positions. Like, when you look at all-time point guards and all-time small forwards, those two names always come up, right? But I think with Kevin Durant, more so than Westbrook, I think is much more of a leadership problem. And the problem with Russell Westbrook throughout his career is he did a little bit too much for no reason, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. But remember, once again, Billy Donovan never really that's the coach's that's the coach's issue to say, hey, you doing too much. I'm a wheel you back in. But he let Westbrook do whatever. Remember that playoff series against Ricky Rubio when Westbrook had like 42 points and they was like, yo, but you took like almost like 30 shots, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the whole Westbrook experience. And
but the thing is,
my bad. I just want to say this. They never give KD the kind of props that it made complete sense that he left OKC, because at the end of the day, Westbrook when you're trying to really win a championship, it proved to be difficult with Westbrook. We seen it play out. No other person got nowhere near even past the second round with Russell Westbrook. Well, KD's the only one. LeBron, no. James Harden, no. Who else played with Westbrook? We're about to see.
James Harden and Westbrook made the second round.
They made the second round, but they never got to the finals.
They beat Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round with Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous. And they lost to... Who did they lose to? They didn't lose to the Lakers. Who did they lose to in the second round? Oh, am I forgetting?
But
it might have been Denver or... no, they lost to LA in the second round.
But think about it. KD with Westbrook making crazy-ass decisions, not valuing his possessions, was up 3-1 against the legendary... 72 win? Well, how many games they won? 74?
73.
73 win.
73 and 9.
Yeah, 73 and 9 Golden State Warriors. You think any other player else, like, think about it, no other player outside of KD competed on that high of a level with Westbrook? Nowhere, not even close. Yep. No one has.
But let me ask you this: has Westbrook had a team equivalent to those Kevin Durant 2016 run? Like, I don't think he's had a team you could say was equal. Like, the James Harden Rockets, there's two firepowers, right? But let's be honest, that team was that team was built ugly.
Well, look, let's put into proper perspective though. When you have LeBron and AD on your team, think about that. You got LeBron and AD. that right there should be enough. You know, no one's saying you should win a championship, but you should be competing at a high level with LeBron, AD, and Westbrook. And it didn't.
But
it's nowhere near. It didn't work out at all.
But it's a team sport, right, bro? So as a team sport, you know, on paper everything looks good. Let's be honest. Like, if I bring three big names together, it's gonna look good. But there's only one basketball, and you're gonna have LeBron and Westbrook kind of like LeBron and Westbrook without the basketball are kind of useless. Like Russell Westbrook, his best attributes, in my opinion, is his like his rebounding and passing abilities, his availability to create plays on the open floor. I think like we can all agree on that. So when you take that away from him, it's not going to work. And I think with Daryl Morey and how he constructed the Rockets, after trading Chris Paul, you trade away Clint Capella. I don't see how that was sustainable and winning a championship. And I don't think the Washington Wizards, they weren't a legitimate team by any stretch of the imagination.
No, yeah, we're not counting them, but
yeah,
I find it hard to believe to say, the OKC Thunder team had better had a better combination of talent than AD and LeBron.
Yeah, they did. Because like look at the 2016 Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, the best players in the world, right?
So you would have to take out Kevin Durant from the equation and put in AD
but then you got
LeBron.
Steven Adams and Enes Kanter were big in that San Antonio series that year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the Stash brothers and all those became famous. Andre Roberson, a good defender at the time. You had Dion Waiters, who was a good role player. Let me pull up that roster.
But let me ask you a question. With that same team, let's take out KD. Let's put in LeBron or AD. Do you think they're gonna be up 3-1 against that Golden State Warrior team?
With Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis?
Or no, take out Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook and LeBron. So
no.
The only player we took out was KD. We take KD out from that exact 2016 OKC team. And we replace him with LeBron. Will they be up 3-1 against Golden State?
No, because those two the two personalities contradict each other.
True. But again, that shows you how moldable Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant fits with any team in the NBA.
Yeah,
he'll do exactly what he's doing.
But I agree with you, bro. That's why I say, like, when it comes to off-ball abilities, right? Like, LeBron and his longevity is impressive. Russell Westbrook and his longevity is impressive. James Harden and his longevity is impressive. But you have to give flowers to guys like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, who don't need the ball to show their longevity, who can find their spots on the court, which is why they work with everyone. That's why Kevin Durant and Steph Curry worked pretty well. If Kevin Durant and Kyrie were healthy, and all the fiasco about coronavirus and all the drama that went on during the Brooklyn Nets, if that wasn't a factor, maybe Brooklyn could have won a championship. But we don't live in a maybe world. Phoenix and Kevin Durant, when both of them are healthy, work very well together. Those are rare comedies, bro. Like, those are rare to have an off-ball player who just fits in every team like a glove.
True. But again, I'm giving KD his flowers. That's how good he is. That's how good he is, man. Because I'm telling you, to have a guy like that be the only player really to elevate Westbrook and have him playing at the highest level like that, we still have not seen it afterwards. And we can't say Westbrook is not playing with some good talent around him. You know what I'm saying? Wait, hold on. And I'm not saying for Westbrook to be competing to win a championship. I'm talking about just to compete at a high level, just the level that they're competing at. Because think about it, KD didn't win a championship with Westbrook, but they competed on a high level. And we haven't seen Westbrook compete at that same level with just equivalent talent. You have AD and LeBron on your team, and you guys are looking like play-in or just not even in the playoffs or a first round exit. That's what I mean.
But let me tell you this: Paul George's best season was next to Russell Westbrook, regardless of which way you look at it. So I do believe in, I think a lot of people don't like to give Russell Westbrook his flowers. The guy does elevate his team members. Even on this Denver Nuggets teams, he elevates the bench big time in this season so far. Russell Westbrook does a good job in elevating his team members big time.
Yes, I agree. 100%. What I'm saying
I think a lot of people who hate on Russell Westbrook don't like to give him his flowers. I think Russell Westbrook, when he's on the court, sure, he does a lot of the rebounding and it could be stat padding. But I think when he gets to rebound, you see the floor, you see the basket open up much more, because then the whole team is playing at a faster pace.
Correct. But again, let's wheel it back to Billy Donovan. You're right. Westbrook does have impact. But again, remember how he was playing under Billy Donovan in OKC. Hey, my man is checking the stat sheet in the middle of the quarters to see the triple-double. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. That's the only difference. Now, it's not even about Russell Westbrook's talent. It's about the freedom that he has. the freedom to do anything he really wants. Because the NBA, it has a weird hierarchy. Because it comes player, star player, then co-star, then coach. It's no longer coach above everybody else. So in OKC, it was really Durant, Westbrook, then the coach. And some coaches in the NBA, I don't know if Billy Donovan didn't have the leverage at the time. They're scared of their stars, man. They're scared, you know, to make them angry, and then they might end up getting fired. So I don't really know his position at the time. But Russell Westbrook in Denver is really the coach above Russell Westbrook. You think Westbrook has the breathing room not to listen to the coach? Now the coach can actually take Russell Westbrook's proper talents and have him utilize it on the court in a structured way. But in OKC, that was not happening. Even when Durant was performing at the highest level, up 3-1 against OKC, you can go back in that series and look at it. Westbrook was doing a lot of clusterfuck dumb shit.
Yeah, but I also think there was no talent at that time in that Oklahoma City Thunder team that could equivalent to Russell Westbrook. Like, okay, we talk about kind of the first year of Paul George. Paul George was in and out of the lineup. From what I remember, Carmelo Anthony was just an awkward fit. So it did give Russell Westbrook much more of the freedom to operate however way he wants. Because there's no second offense after the 2016, 2017. Those rookie Sabonis and Victor Oladipo didn't become the most improved All-Star that we know him today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it obviously, like, that team and the way it was structured, became a one-man show, which is why you had that legendary triple-double season, his MVP season. It became a one-man show. Second season, you didn't really see Paul George take over the mantle. Third season, Paul George became an MVP player, but like I said, a lot of his playmaking, Russell Westbrook really opened the floor for Paul George to become the dominant player, and arguably his best season. Like, I think Paul George probably benefited them. If you talk about every co-star Russell Westbrook has played with, there's no denying a guy who benefited the most is Paul George. And this is like prime Russell Westbrook, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think when you talk about kind of the coaching dynamics with Russell Westbrook, bro. The thing is, bro, how can you tell a top 6 player, top 5 player, like, yo, you need to take less shots? Like, how can you tell an MVP to take less shots?
You know how you could tell him? When they lose to a rookie Donovan Mitchell in the first round. Why is it that man's first year in the NBA and he's eliminating you?
Yeah,
you're Russell Westbrook. You've been to the finals. You were up 3-1 against Golden State in 2016. Yeah. You eliminated the Spurs in 2012. You have too much experience to be getting eliminated by a rookie Donovan Mitchell in the Utah Jazz. You have too much experience to get eliminated by Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Come on, man. Those guys should not even be competition for where you
I
at.
agree. Like I said, bro, we live in an era like NBA. The NBA we grew up with is much more of a player freedom, player dominated NBA, right? So it's just hard to imagine someone telling the MVP of that year, like, yo, please take less shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but everybody already knew. There's so much footage of Russell Westbrook counting the rebounds. I mean, how do you get more 100%. Rebounds than Steven Adams?
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, this whole storyline with Russell Westbrook that season after Durant left, we all know he was gonna get the MVP, even though James Harden was the real MVP. James Harden should have had back-to-back MVPs. He was the real
Kawhi
MVP
had an
that
incredible season that year too.
Who?
Kawhi had an incredible season 2017.
True, but James Harden should have had back-to-back MVPs. that was his MVP year. But you know, at the end of the day, the storyline
like I said,
was what the writers wanted. They wanted that storyline.
Yeah. But even if he didn't win the MVP, he was still a top 5, top 6 player in the league.
That season he took the most shots out of anyone in the NBA.
He was leading score. I think he was the leading scoring champion of that year. But you look at it, like,
he took the most shots.
We say, like,
he took the most shots that season.
I can probably name like 5 or 6 players maybe better than Russell Westbrook in 2016, 2017. LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden. That's it. We're
not denying that he was a top player, but you have to look at it. Like his stats, man. Like there's no doubt there was a lot of stat padding that season.
Oh, 100%. Bro, that's the problem with ball dominant players, regardless of whatever you want, which way you want to take it. A ball dominant player can't lead you to a championship because now you have to watch one-on-one basketball every possession, right? Every possession gets milked out, defenses get tough. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Luka Doncic, they're just a part of that. They're just a part. That's always going to remain a problem as long as they don't fix it, as long as they don't adopt an off-ball game. And that's always like that. I think I'm repeating myself. Hold on. Due to the lack of off ball, due to the lack of an off ball game, they're always going to deal with the problem of defenses closing them out and them getting tired late in series. Because we see that with Russell Westbrook, we saw that with Harden, we see that with Luka.
True, but you know,
Yeah.
those guys, man, those guys actually competed at the highest. Like they got to further deeper in the playoffs, man. Like it's different levels. Even that MVP year Russell Westbrook won, they got eliminated 4-1 by the Rockets, man. Like it's just I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, you know, it's like, man, he took the most shots out of anyone in the NBA.
Look,
like people
Russell
used to get triple
Westbrook,
doubles in the flow of the game, bro.
Yeah.
In the flow of the game. My man is stat padding. He's doing what LeBron is doing now at the end of his career. Just stat padding.
Look, Russell Westbrook is box office in the regular season, but he is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, like droppers in the playoffs.
Yo, but what does that say
I'm not
about
gonna,
Durant
like,
though? Durant, that was his wingman, and Durant took him to the finals, and he was up 3-1 against Golden State.
Yeah.
That shows you how Durant is really, yo. It's unfortunate for, you know, some of the decisions Durant made with his career, and also LeBron being in the league at the same time. But Durant is really one of them. Like he's really one of
Durant
the top
is an all-time
1%
player
of the NBA players.
But I just don't think I think the thing with Durant is I think what Russell Westbrook's good at is taking over the mental of the team, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you need a guy in your locker room. You have Russell Westbrook, and you know teams will respect him. With the problem with Kevin Durant is throughout his career, I don't think he's a confrontational guy. Him or to be honest with you, I don't view them as confrontational guys in their careers.
Correct. You're right. Yeah, he might not have. He has the talent of a captain, but he might not have the personality.
He doesn't have that mindset because I think you know what showed that is with the Draymond situation.
True.
When they had the falling out, and I think with Kawhi, you see it with the Clippers every other day. Like he doesn't have that mentality of like just getting the team to rally behind him. You saw that with the 3-1 lead. It's easy. Look, it's easy to rally around a team when you have guys like Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, guys who will have established an Hall of Fame career. Or even when you go to Toronto where you have Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet. These guys made deep playoff runs before you even got there.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys know how to like rally behind their first star. So and Serge Ibaka, obviously. So it's just the dynamics change, and I think Kevin Durant and Kawhi, they're revolutionary talents, but I just don't think they have it in them to make their team I don't think they have it in them to like lead a team. Where I think Russell Westbrook always had it in him, but I think Russell Westbrook's biggest flaw is his game. While Russell Westbrook's biggest game is his team game, I think his biggest. I think you know what? It's a double-edged sword with Russell Westbrook. I think his ability to get the rebound and create plays is a great, but I think with Russell Westbrook, a large portion of his game is his assertiveness. He's aggressive, which makes him one of the best players to ever play, but that's also been his downfall, is his aggression.
Yeah, his aggression, and you're right. That's a great analogy. But you're right.
Yeah.
He does have the mental fortitude and like the personality, the charisma, probably, the people, the way they're motivated by him. I don't think Kevin Durant has that. But
because these Denver guys like him. I wrote an article on Russell Westbrook a couple of days ago. These Denver guys like him in the locker room. I wrote an article on Russell Westbrook, and I watched their games. The locker room guys, they like him in Denver.
They
like
do.
being around him.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. But again, KD is the only one to really take him to a whole nother level. We'll see you know, how Denver uses him, but he's in a complete different situation in Denver. Again, the coaching hierarchy is above him now. He's not above it. You know what I mean?
He's the fifth guy on that team now.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Jokic, you know, the way Jokic is, he's not gonna want to have too much of a higher hierarchy than the coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't want to have too much power above the coach. He's gonna let the coach.
Yeah.
But you know, speaking of that, man, with the players and just the hierarchy and just a lot of the weird situation with a lot of these NBA teams, do you think because of the global talent pool coming into the league, just a lot of teams you see the way New Orleans Pelicans, the way they got rid of Dyson Daniels, and we're seeing the large impact that he has on the Atlanta Hawks. You know, the Pelicans was just so crowded with so many, you know, defensive wings. Just the league is now with an influx of talent. Do you think the complementary co-stars are kind of like, I don't want to say on the same level as the kind of guys that are on the fringe of being stars, but do you think the league right now, that like gap is getting a lot closer?
Well, no, I think we saw that with 2021. We saw that with 2019, and we saw that with 2019 championship, 2021 championship, and I'll say 2023 championship. We saw that, where it seems like complementary stars have really closed in the gap between like the second all-star on your team.
Yeah.
Because because I like Chris Middleton and Holiday are all-stars, but they're not like fringe all-stars. They're not like guys you mentioned, like everyday stars. Like, if I were to sit with you and like tell you to name me like the best option in the league, you're gonna name me for the past decade. You're gonna name me Paul George. You're gonna name Russell Westbrook. You're gonna name me Chris Paul. You're not gonna name Chris Middleton, Jamal Murray, Drew Holiday, those kind of guys, Kyle Lowry. You're not really naming those guys. But I think as the time progresses, you're seeing teams much more built around like they're starting 7 guys who can maybe switch around and kind of become a second option. So one game would be like, I don't know, Giannis and Drew Holiday. Another game, it could be Chris Middleton and Holiday. Chris Middleton and Giannis, you know. It'll be Giannis in a rotation of second, third options who can fill in that hole of taking over the scoring load. I'm saying is not kind of seeing a change of like the main superstar and kind of like 2 B-tier players kind of filling in that role. Because I thought Denver, like Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon, were great complementary pieces to Jokic during that 2023 championship run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, like a lot of players. I mean, you just look at the teams right now. The Knicks, the way
OG's playing.
Yeah, the way Golden State found all these players and they're better utilizing them. What are other teams? The Minnesota Timberwolves,
Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, it just seems like the talent pool is a lot better now, and it's gonna be hard for the league going forward in the future to actually have a superstar that's gonna dominate all these guys. You know, I think the whole marketing of this whole Michael Jordan solo act or / Kobe Bryant or LeBron James solo act, I think the league eventually is gonna have to pivot away from that because the talent is gonna be so good. You got to be a hell of a player to actually just dominate on your own like that. It's just the league just doesn't operate like that anymore.
Your 1 through 7 lineups could be stars in any other team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like Peyton Pritchard and who's that other white dude off their bench? Peyton Pritchard and
Sam Hauser.
Sam Hauser, they could be starters on any other team. You know what I mean? That's just how the NBA is going to construct. I think it's a good thing because I think teams are gonna not look for super teams. Because you're looking at Philadelphia, you got 3 guys on max, but your team fucking sucks.
You see, they constructed their team off of the old way, which is the LeBron, Wade, big 3, the Celtics big 3 with Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. That's the old way. I feel like the new way is that you find a nice late first round pick that's a gem, second round picks that are going to be gems coming out of college, maybe a 4-year player, and then you have kind of your superstar, and then you have 2 co-stars, and that's how you build your team. You can look at the Boston Celtics, the way they're constructed with Derek White, Drew Holiday. They got, like you said, Hauser, Pritchard coming off the bench. They just got so many guys. Al Horford, and then you look at Oklahoma City Thunder, the way that team is constructed. Wow, they drafted
Yeah.
most of these guys.
Yeah.
And then look, they went and grabbed fucking Isaiah Hartenstein, which is a perfect piece, a perfect fit. And Isaiah Hartenstein is not like a top draft pick, but right now it's just what he does. The basketball smarts on the defensive end, knowing where to be, how to position himself, the way he throws picks, the way he, vertically he protects the rim. That shit is fucking valuable. It's almost like the league right now got a bunch of Draymond Greens running around. Like, you don't know, like, oh, where the hell did he come from? Oh, his basketball IQ is there. Like, oh, he's utilizing the game, he's reading the game, and this motherfucker's effective. There's a lot of people like that. Look at Jalen Brunson, 2nd round pick, styling right now. Like this is gonna be the norm.
Look at Tari, Eason, and Thompson and in Houston too, bro.
Yeah,
Those guys are hustling off the bench.
it's just the league right now is crowded. It's so crowded right now. I asked myself, right, looking at next year's draft, it's supposed to be a star-studded draft, it's supposed to be deep.
Yeah.
How many teams are left for these guys to get drafted to have the freedom to just come in and take a bunch of shots and be the guy? Because there's not a lot of teams in the NBA where that's the case right now.
The only teams I could think of is Utah. Because I think Utah, if hypothetically, I think they're gonna draft this Cooper Flag guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get the green light regardless, but he's still gonna be throwing around decent talent like Colin Sexton if he's still on the team, John Collins, Lauri Markkanen. Well, Lauri's granted gonna be on the team.
True, but even in Utah, there's room there, and there's also room. I believe what other team there's room.
But mind you, Utah got a lot of talent too on their team.
Yeah, they do.
Despite being trash.
They do.
Yeah.
There's room in Utah and in Brooklyn. And Brooklyn. Yeah. But even Brooklyn with Cam Thomas, if they can't find a way to move him, that kind of crowds it up a little bit. They got the Johnson guy. Was it Cam Johnson too? It's not that wide open as it used to be. And then you look at the teams that are kind of at the bottom, the Bulls. There might be some room over there in Chicago too, but then you look at Detroit, there's really not that much room. They got a lot of guys they drafted that's sitting there. And then you look at Charlotte. Okay, let's say Charlotte somehow gets into the lottery game. You got Brandon Miller, you got LaMelo Ball, and then you got
Miles Bridges.
And then you got you got Miles Bridges with the pimp hand. He's not gonna let you get all those fucking shots. He's not gonna let you do it.
Trey Man, you got a lot of guys over there just hoping to score the ball.
Yeah, even in Washington, it's kind of you got Fashion Nova Kuzma. You got Jordan Poole. He's like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just gonna shoot anyway. I'm gonna take this bad shot.
Bob Connaughton.
Yeah. And then you got Alex Sarr. So it's crowded. So you're looking at like, oh, I'm a top 5 pick, but where am I going that I'm just gonna come in and not get put into the Jabari Smith fucking junior role in Houston? There's a lot of dudes that's gonna get caught in that. Like, oh, I'm trying to get my money, but I can't get my shots.
Like even Orlando, when they restarted 2019, like for a rebuilding team, they were very quick to kind of bounce back into becoming a playoff team.
True. And look at Orlando's crowded as fuck too.
Yeah, Orlando is crowded. Bro, just in their big man spot, like Goga and Wendell Carter, they're both talented guys.
Mm-hmm. And another weird part of this is that the teams that are not really as crowded, they're too top heavy, like the Phoenix Suns. They're too top heavy. Philadelphia is too top heavy. But they gotta after the top 3, there's a lot of room after that. But they can't really, they're not gonna be able to draft no top guys.
No.
It's weird. Even Indiana's crowded. Like every team is fucking crowded. Where are all these rookies coming in gonna have the breathing room to shine? And then at the same time, you got LeBron. These players are aging and they're still staying in the league.
Yeah,
we've never seen the whole NBA like this before. This is very unique. Even San Antonio, my bad. San Antonio, I forgot to throw them out there.
Crowded.
They're crowded. Vessel, you got Castle on the come up.
Wembanyama, obviously. You have what's that? Wembanyama. You got even Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes having a career year this year.
Yeah. Hey, some of these
Jeremy
guys.
Sohan. Yeah.
Sohan, I forgot about some of these guys coming into the league. They better save their NIL checks because after that 4th year, I don't know if they're gonna be getting max contracts because good luck getting that when you have only 12 shots per game to take because your team is just crowded.
Dude, you have to look. If you're gonna get paid, you have to show a lot of potential, like Franz Wagner or Scotty Barnes, because now we're even seeing like Jalen Green and Sengun. They didn't get paid as much as their peers.
Nope. It's just, man, what if this is done on purpose? Like this is the way the ownership kind of knew the league was going. They seen the influx of talent coming in. They made the CBA kind of tight. They're taking advantage of like older stars kind of staying in the league, and now they could flatten out the line where everyone almost makes the same amount. Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh.
Also, you don't want to beg on.
My bad. I feel like there's multiple ways these owners are finessing this new CBA to kind of keep team salaries low, because owning a team right now is expensive as fuck. It's really expensive.
I mean, even a championship list team like the Hornets, they had to pay $1 billion just to buy.
True. And then now, guys are slowly getting into the real estate game and owning an NBA team at the same time. So it's a lot going on in the league. The local TV money's running dry. That pot kind of is done. So I don't know. It's a weird situation. Like, look at the Houston Rockets 3rd overall pick. Shepherd coming off the bench. Like, how is he gonna prove his value being a 3rd overall pick, having a good summer league? And it's like he's gonna be crowded.
He's gonna be forced to leave Houston.
Him and Jabari. Jabari and man, that team is just so crowded. I'm telling you, even the Raptors, they just signed quickly. They just they got RJ extended.
Barrett.
They got, Barnes.
Gary Dick's having a career year.
Yo, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Dick had enough breathing room to shine.
Yeah, but I think Dick's game is just it's simple, right? It's just spot up threes. Mm-hmm. So as long as you're hitting them, you're gonna get a spot on the team.
Yeah, look at Jonathan Kuminga. Like, I know he's tight right now. Like, you seeing what's his name, Buddy Hield shine. Like, yeah, guys are shining out here. Like, if you're a top, if you're a lottery pick and you're kind of struggling the first couple of years, there may be a few guys that are kind of on the fringe of being a minimum player or just out of the league. They could come in and just end up shining and getting a good deal.
Also, I think a lot of guys will probably choose to do the full 2 to 3 years in college by then too.
Yeah, or they might actually time, when they should come into the league. They might look at which teams are sucking, and then they'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna declare for the draft now.
Because like Jaime Jaquez Jr., right, last year's rookie, he came after his 3rd year. He's 21, a much more developed body as compared to an 18, 19-year-old, and he's able to make an impact instantly in Miami Heat, a team that's very crowded.
Yeah, beautiful example you just brought up, Jaime. Yeah. Oh my God, Jaime Jaquez. There's just a lot of late round picks that are shining out here in the NBA. Yeah. And it's like, hey, if you're a lottery, hold up. If you're a lottery pick right now, do you think they have less time to prove themselves?
100%. Because I don't see a world. I think a lot of these teams are no longer drafting on potential anytime soon.
No, I don't see it
but
either.
I think a lot of these teams will draft complete talent. Like guys who they view as complete talent.
Yeah, I mean, this all of this could actually kind of speed up the process of teams rebuilding themselves. Because in the NBA, maybe they're trying to be like the NFL, where it's just like, a team could be worse, and then they replenish during the draft, a couple of free agents, and they're right back in the game.
Yeah,
like that turnaround would be nice for the NBA.
Some teams are too lazy with their rebuild, bro. Like Washington Wizards been a 5-year rebuild.
Yeah, it's a little bit too long. I know Adam Silver is working on that because that's not good going into that new TV deal where they need the NBA to pop on that television,
Yeah.
boy. They need
The
that shit
Charlotte
to pop
Hornets,
off.
the Charlotte Hornets are on a 5-year rebuild. No excuse.
Yeah, and they have talent. They have talent on their team, man. Bridges, Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller is coming through. I see Brandon Miller did he played in the California Classic. He played in Summer League again. You know, these
But
guys,
Grant Williams got injured. He's out for the season, so their depth is fucked.
Yeah, they got unlucky with that. You look at Minnesota. Minnesota's competing. They're deep. That team is deep.
Yeah. Bro, even that one kid, Rob Dillingham, he doesn't have the time to really shine.
He doesn't. Oh, my bad. Going back to the Hornets, they have that French kid coming off the bench, the 6th overall pick.
Diabetes?
What's his name?
Is it Diabetes?
I'm not sure. I forgot his name. He's kind of light-skinned. French dude. 6th overall pick.
Oh, Salon.
Yeah, he's coming off the bench on their team. So
yeah, I mean, he's coming off the bench.
So
a lot of guys.
He's a perfect example of what we're talking about. 6th overall pick. You come into a team with 3 other guys already getting all the shots.
Yeah.
So this
4 other guys now. You also got Trey Mann.
Oh yeah, Trey. Oh, look at that. Wait, Trey Mann. Let me see. What pick is he?
He's from Oklahoma.
But
and he was Trey Mann couldn't get minutes in Oklahoma, mind you.
Oh, he couldn't get minutes in Oklahoma.
No, he was the 18th pick, couldn't get minutes in Oklahoma.
Let me see his draft status. First
he
round,
was the 18th pick overall.
Yeah, 18th pick overall. Wow.
And that's a role player career, and he couldn't get minutes.
So you see, again, the rookies, they're fighting off the star players. They're fighting off the rookies that were in front of them that didn't get the minutes. Now they're coming on. Now they come into the league. They're battling all these guys, and then they're battling the role players. That all of a sudden they move to a team, and now all of a sudden they're shining. That's how much talent is coming into the league. And then at the same time, the global pool. You have players coming in from different countries. There's just a lot of. I wouldn't be shocked if in a couple of years someone else opens up a
but
different
I feel like
league.
with the CBA, for whatever reason, these players shot themselves in the foot. I don't know who was representing these players, but they did a horrible job.
They did. They really got finessed by the owners. I think they saw the revenue split. I think it's 51%.
Yeah.
The players, they get the revenue, but the owners is like, we set it up so you might not even be able to cash your checks or even cash out on your value. You look at Julius Randle, you look at John Collins in Utah. There's a lot of players up for contracts where it's questionable if they're gonna get another deal. Brandon Ingram, it goes on and on and on. Some of these guys, it's weird because they're valuable, but they can't cash out. Because everybody else is like, oh, we're scared of the second apron, which might be an excuse. Imagine if all the owners collaborate and say oh, we're not touching the second apron. They're just telling their GMs that, but meanwhile behind closed doors, they all say yo, none of us is touching that second apron, and that's how they're gonna get that revenue share to actually swing back their way.
Yeah.
It's weird the way I'm telling you, man, the league is going to be super fucking interesting, man, next couple of years. It's going to be super interesting. And at the same time, they eliminated player movement. They got rid of that.
Yeah.
They got rid of that.
I mean, dude, look at Paul George's contract. I'm going to be honest, Paul George is not a star anymore. I think Paul George isn't that elite of a defender anymore. Paul George isn't that elite of a scorer anymore. And you pay all that money for a guy like that, what's the point? You're better off paying for role players on your team like the Golden State Warriors did. You get a shit ton of role players, and the Warriors are the second seed while Philadelphia is on the bottom of their seed conference.
Philadelphia. Like you said, man, the good teams being at the bottom, it's just it's a weird. The league is in a weird spot. Look at Atlanta. Yeah. They got the top pick. And they just made one move, and they're really, even though people think Trae Young should leave, they're really right back in the game.
I don't see a reason why Trae Young should leave.
Yeah,
I know I wrote an article about Trae Young leaving. I know I wrote an article about Trae Young leaving, but right now, the NBA isn't really settled right now, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't really go based off record right now because there's a lot more breathing room. But I don't really see a reason for Trae Young to leave.
Yeah.
Unless they want him to go. But other than that, I think they put a perfectly sound team around him. Jalen Johnson isn't a talented scorer, but he can do everything else.
Mhm.
Ricochet, he's a good role player. I don't really see why he would want to leave.
Yeah, it wouldn't. One other team we forgot to mention that actually does have a lot of breathing room. Well, in a way, they really don't. The Blazers. What do you think? You think they have enough breathing room for a rookie to come in and get shots up?
No, I think they have a lot of talent, bro.
Man, yeah, they got that center. And Scoot Henderson not Scoot is not utilizing his window, man. Scoot's window is a lot shorter than what he thinks. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, unless from that draft class, if you're not Brandon Miller, Wembanyama, you're not Chet Holm. I guess Chet Holmgren is not. No, he's not in that rookie class, but he played for the Rookie of the Year that year. So we're looking at 2023 draft NBA. Let me see some players who I could say like really solidified themselves, because I can only name those two really.
See, and
Yeah, if you're not,
go
yeah,
ahead.
if you're not like. If you're not Victor Wembanyama, if you're not Brandon Miller, I don't really see you like solidified really like that. Like I see your window kind of cutting short. Like I think a lot of role players, like obviously Ben Shepherd of Indiana. I think guys like Keontae George, depending on how he plays in Utah. Right now he's kind of in and off. Jaime Hawkins and Pods. Those are the only guys I could say has like breathing room in the league right now. And they're role players. They're not stars. The only guys I could say star-wise or top 3 lottery pick is Victor and Brandon Miller. Like, those are the clear-cut guys who have breathing room.
True. Wow. And that's not a lot. That's not a lot compared to the talent coming in.
Yeah.
But again,
and like the
go
Thompson brothers, I forgot them. They're also on that list.
Yeah, their defense allows them to have that breathing room. And that's where a lot of these lottery picks they need to come in complete. They better not come in thinking that it's just all about scoring, because that's an easy way to kind of be out of this mix of trying to cash in on your talent.
Because I'm looking at it like Jarris Walker, he's not getting much minutes in Indiana. Jet Howard started to get minutes recently. Anthony Black was on and off. Grady Dick's a role player, a quality sharpshooter. But other than that, it's not much to be like crazy or go home about, if that makes sense. Julian Strother is solid for Denver. And that's about it, really. Like, it's just solid role players, a lot of these guys that have been able to like find their roles. Like, I think the most consistent role players, the Thompson brothers, Grady Dick, those are the guys you could say are really consistent role players.
Wow. This is real interesting. Those agents for some of those guys, man, they might be going crazy here, because we're gonna probably hear more of people saying, "Oh, this guy worked out for this team, but he didn't show up for this workout. Oh, he didn't come to this workout." Like, I feel like a lot of players, they're going to be avoiding a lot of teams, man, a lot of teams. Because even right now, let's just check out the standings. Teams
like, let's say you're a wing player, right? And you have the potential to go to Orlando. Would you want to go to Orlando?
No way.
Exactly.
No way. If I want to maximize my talent, no way.
Because now you're competing with Benchero, clear cut like star of the team, right? You're competing with Franz Wagner, a star, and you're competing with Jonathan Isaac, who's another wing guy, who's at this point a veteran who brings a ton of defense, and Jet Howard, who's been able to get minutes. Yeah, like, you don't have much breathing room.
And what's his name? Black is gonna get minutes too, because he plays good defense, so he's gonna get minutes.
Black's
too.
Getting minutes. That's why I mentioned him. He's getting minutes now.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it like you go to San Antonio. If you go to San Antonio, Pop is gonna not really. Pop doesn't really put players, unless like your Wemby level, in prime position to get paid like that. You have to go through you have to develop your whole game.
But even Keldon Johnson on the San Antonio Spurs, he's found his role becoming much more a minimum.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure his agent's not happy about that, because he was almost averaging like 20 a game.
And he was a transition to the rebuild too, mind you. He was in the DeJounte Murray era.
And then you look at the Pelicans. I mean, even though Zion is probably more than likely not going to work out, if you're a young rookie, I don't know if you want to go even that team is kind of crowded in a way. They got because they're invested in Zion sells tickets down there, so they're gonna be invested in him regardless. And you're always gonna be like you never really know who's your teammates. Like, is Zion gonna play? Is he not gonna play? And when he does play,
and when Zion plays, he's having the ball majority of the time in his hands.
Majority of the time.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you got all those 3-and-D wings down there. It's like,
So you're playing on the Zion show. It's just what it is.
Yeah, the Zion show where you stand on the sidelines and you don't know if the show is gonna be on time night from night. Like, it's weird. It's a weird thing down there. I don't know what the hell's going on.
So, okay, let me ask. I think Denver would be the most ideal if you're a role player.
It would be, but let's say if you're a role player where your talent is top 10 in the draft. You're not going to fall to Denver.
Okay, but let's say you're an elite off-ball player, right? Why wouldn't you want to go Denver?
But how are you going to Denver as a free agent? I'm because we're talking about the rookies coming in, having
lottery picks.
Yeah, going to that's a conundrum. You're top 10, you're top 14. You want to go to a team where you could be put in a position to best maximize your skills to get paid the most, and it's like a lot of the teams that are in that position don't really have breathing rooms. Right now, we just talked about the Jazz, Blazers, Nets. I mean, that's if the Nets and Blazers. I mean, it's really Wizards, no Bulls, 50-50. It's like, where are you going in today's NBA?
The Bulls depends if they get rid of their veteran talent.
And that's the thing. The CBA locks them up from kind of doing that.
Yeah.
That's what.
If you're able to get rid of Vucevic, if you're able to get rid of Lonzo Ball, if you're able to get rid of not even Lonzo really, because I think Lonzo fits with the younger guys because he's trying to find his value back.
Correct.
But Zach LaVine and Vucevic and Kobe, would we put Kobe in that conversation?
Kobe's gonna get some minutes and he's gonna get his shots up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you also got that rookie European kid that's a point guard.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I think he's number 14.
Yes, I believe so.
He's gonna be good. He's gonna be all right. I like his wingspan. Yeah. That kid, he could dunk too, man. Like that kid's gonna be all right, man. He's gonna be all right.
What is it? Matas believe. I don't know how to say his name. God bless him though.
Yeah. But hey, as you can see, man, like I don't know if the owners designed this in like this way for like everyone to kind of be fighting, because it looks like right now everyone's fighting for like dollars right now.
Yeah,
it's weird the way the owners kind of situated this, but again, these guys agreed to this. They agreed to this, and I know these owners, they have years and years of people who understand contract language and how to structure things a certain way where you don't see it, you only see it in the back end. And I feel like, the more years pass by, these players are going to be pissed about this new CBA. It's some other shit, man. And the fans don't even understand it. Yeah. Like they made it in a way. My bad. They made it in a way where the fans are not even going to be able to keep up with this shit as easy.
Yeah. Bro, they're going to stress over the second apron every time.
I feel like that's an excuse. Yeah. I feel like that's an excuse.
I think it's an excuse to make owners continue to be cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an excuse.
These owners don't want to spend. They don't want to spend.
Especially the new owners that purchase the teams for billions. Inflated prices.
Look at fucking Denver. Prime example, right? You win a championship, you lose all the key role players that helped you win. Bruce Brown, you didn't want to pay him, you let him go, right? Mm-hmm. You let go of Jeff Green, you let go of a lot of your players, but you still keep your top heavy players for whatever reason.
True, and then you could look at Minnesota too. They gave up on Minnesota, Towns, and now the fit is kind of clunky. It's kind of clunky, and now you wanna trade in the draft to get more young talent around the team, and it's
even Milwaukee became cheaper, man. Even Milwaukee is cheaper.
Yeah, Milwaukee. Milwaukee, that NFL owner for the Browns, he bought that team. Yeah,
and he's known to be a little cheap.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, these guys, I mean, you know what? It's another thing people overlook now that the teams are going to be running for like $8 billion, $6 billion. They're not going to get like regular billionaires buying these teams. They're looking for companies to come in and buy these teams.
Yeah. tech, real estate companies.
Yeah, and I feel like those companies, like they're gonna come in and completely run those teams like a business.
Yeah.
They're not gonna care about no championships. They're not gonna. A lot of these companies, they're just gonna be looking for return on investments because the league is sort of looking into private equity, and it's like they're not into the business of, competition and making fans happy. The only thing for them is like it's either they're making money or they got return on investment or not.
Yeah.
And it's gonna change the whole league. It's gonna change the whole league. Imagine the players then. Now they got to do the CBA. Like when you see what's his name, Jaylen Brown and all these guys get together, they're gonna be talking to all this venture capital money. Like that's kind of weird.
And they're gonna take a lot of pay cuts in order to build legitimate teams. You're gonna see a lot of star players take pay cuts.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that for the past decade. You remember, like back then, Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, they used to take a lot of pay cuts.
Yeah, that hasn't happened in a while, but these guys.
And Jalen Brunson really opened the door up for that again.
He has, but we also looking at the way how the Boston Celtics going to play out, because no one really took a pay cut. Everyone kind of got paid, and we want to see how how that really plays out. How long are they going to pay that tax? Because I think next year they're going to start losing. They're not going to lose a pick, but I think their draft pick in the first round 7 years out is automatically going to be pushed to the back.
Yeah, so, but I think a guy like Kristaps Porzingis will probably eat the shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna last that long on that team. But hey, if they keep winning, I think they're gonna keep it together.
Especially like considering Porzingis is at the peak of his career, so it's all head down after this. He's what, 28, 29?
Let me see.
He's the same age as Towns. I know that they're both from the same class.
Let's see, KP.
But they're 2015 class, so he's at his 10th year in the NBA, which goddamn time passes by fast.
Yeah, KP. Yeah, he does. Fuck. Yeah.
Fuck. Even bro, you watch this guy develop. Time passes by quick.
Yeah, KP. Man, he spent a lot of time injured too. But yeah, at the end of the day, this was good, man. Like, it's almost like we discovered in real time, like, how things are gonna kind of shaping in this new NBA. I would say in this new technocratic streaming NBA. See.
And I think it removes the mask off the NBA, to be honest with you. Like the whole idea of NBA being that friendly, like player-friendly league, I think it's just revealed to be bullshit.
Oh, it's always been bullshit because there's no such thing as that in business.
There's no such thing as player-friendly leagues. There's no such thing as worker-friendly companies. Fuck no.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone got $1.
Yeah,
everyone wants to make an extra $1.
That's always been my thing with Adam Silver, man. This whole like, playing like the nice guy role, but that's a role he's only doing on TV. Those contracts say otherwise.
He's a capitalist.
I wouldn't even say that. I would just say he works for the owners.
No, 100%, bro. The owners make sure he's paid, right? They're the ones who make sure, like, I'm saying as long as the owners like him, he'll always get paid.
Yeah, facts. It's just so much changes, man. Speaking of Adam Silver, he is trying to change the All-Star format. They got it to another fucking tournament again. I felt like they did this before with the Kobe Bryant game.
Bro, honestly, I'm over it.
Yeah, it's just,
I think All-Star is outdated.
You know what it is? They need to, I don't know, man. They need to sell that to the Middle East. They need to sell it to, have that in Brazil, have it somewhere, make it like a whole week and a half, give the players off. And then, when those countries bid for it, pay the top players to participate in the dunk contest. Like, that's how it should go.
Like, I don't see a world where these guys, like, will give a shit anytime soon. Because you could bring all kind of, like, rules and legislation. And we're all fans of it. We all welcome it. But it depends on the players at the end of the day.
Now, do you think because this is kind of a dilemma right here. Do you think the owners want a guy like Jason Tatum? He's on your books for $300. Jaylen Brown, he's on your books for 300. Do you want them making it competitive at that game, risking your investment?
No.
Yeah, that's the real conversation. I'm surprised they don't have that. They put all the onus on the players.
Yeah, it's bullshit because the owners, the owners, your medical staff, they're the ones that decide if a player plays or not,
Yeah, or how hard they
and they
go.
decide the minutes. Yeah, they decide the minutes of the players.
Yeah, I don't think.
Look, like I think,
My bad. I don't
yeah,
think Jeannie Buss wants LeBron James. We all know the value he adds to a franchise. What, $500 million when he went back to Cleveland of net worth he
yeah,
added in. I don't think they want those guys risking it at the All-Star game.
no, fuck no, man. Also, like I said, these players, like a lot of them don't really care. Like, bro, let's be honest. Like, the only superstar who actually tries hard is Giannis.
Yeah, but Giannis looked like he's starting to dial it back because that all those years is starting to hit on him.
Yeah, because he's been dealing with so many injuries, but before then, it's only been Giannis that I can remember actually gave a shit. And oddly enough, Chris Middleton always played pretty well in the All-Star game.
Yeah. But the All-Star game, they need to just, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how they could fix it. I'll be honest with you. But all I know, like, they're trying to position it for streaming. They're positioning it for a global audience that will actually care about it. And they want to position it the same way Logan Paul and Mike Tyson positioned it.
Yeah.
They want to make like the All-Star game on their next TV deal part of a different package. Like they can do another deal with ESPN, etc. But they'll say, oh, the All-Star game is on Netflix. And then, it'll be a huge global event. It's in Brazil because Brazil bidded on it. So they have different nations bidding on the All-Star game, and then they'll have enough money to pay like a Beyonce to perform. Like they want to make it a spectacle for streaming. Like that's the
cool.
That's the reason because we're seeing a push. Like Adam Silver having the meeting last year, behind the scenes, bringing all the former legendary players. Hey guys, can you play a lot harder in this game? Is because they're trying to position the shit for something.
Yeah. No, I agree. You want to make it into like a carnival-like event, but at the same time, you kind of need the players to pull their weight into that event, and you also have to bring in a lot more eyes. Like I think these kind of ideas, they kind of feel empty to me. I'm like, who cares? Like if the dunk contest, I'm all for it, right? We're all for it in general, but like let's be honest.
I don't know, man. I would say All-Star game in Mexico City, 2 weeks off for all the players, whether you in it or not. If you're in it, of course you have to participate in it, but you get to go to Mexico City with your family for 2 weeks, and you're only playing in one game.
Yeah.
So you get to do all your little promo events, but at the end of the day, you got one game in 2 weeks, and then it's like a real break. Like maybe he should leverage that. Leverage it that way. It's one game in 2 weeks. You guys,
because like I'm gonna be honest, the only ones who try hard are like the All-Stars who nobody really cares enough to watch, like Karl Anthony Towns, Chris Middleton. Those kind of guys, you see them try hard. You're not seeing guys like LeBron, Steph Curry, Luka, Jokic try hard.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Like Karl Anthony Towns dropped 50 points. Tyrese Halliburton had a crazy All-Star game. But are you turning on your TV to watch him play an All-Star game?
Nah, the way Cat was playing last year, he was just like, yo, it was too easy. Nobody was playing that hard. I was watching Cat dunk.
Yeah, he was entertaining.
Dunking.
I gotta give him that.
Yeah, I was like, yo, look at Cat. He going hard, man. Nobody playing defense.
Cat treated it like an NBA championship game.
Yeah, I was like, look at Cat, man, going down the lane. But Adam Silver, that wasn't the only switch up, man. There's rumblings now that they want to make the whole playoffs no conference, which I think it's cap.
Nah, I don't think it works.
Yeah,
the owners won't allow it.
Yeah, they won't, because the teams that always suck is gonna be harder for them to make the playoffs, aka making more money, more ticket sales, more concessions. It's just, but they said in a Western Conference executive told Brian Windhorst when they apply for expansion or get the extra 2 teams, that they're really pushing for that, which I don't know. I don't know if it's a true.
I don't think the owners want it. If you're the owner of the Eastern Conference, right? Your team's going to be dominated by every every California team. I don't see a world where the Eastern Conference becomes relevant.
Whoa,
Like
whoa,
you're just
whoa,
asking
whoa,
for
whoa. I'm gonna have to have a little pushback from that. A former East Coaster, man. I'm gonna have to have a pushback on that. I think that narrative for the Western Conference being dominant, if they did make the playoffs like that, that narrative would break, because the Western Conference is full of names, but most of the times it's full of names that not really having any impact. You know what I mean? Like, do you think LeBron is getting through the top 4 teams in the East? I'm not talking about like this season. I'm talking about like when Giannis was healthy with Jrue Holiday, or when Embiid was healthy, or when what's his name, the Boston Celtics. He wasn't gonna get through those teams.
no, hell no.
He like this whole like Western Conference is dominant with names. They're dominant with names. They're not dominant. They wouldn't dominate the East. The top of the Eastern Conference, I would say, is either on par or even better than the West. And it's been, I really feel like it's been like that since Kawhi went to the Eastern Conference. If you really look at it, it was what, Kawhi with the Raptors. It was Jimmy Butler with the 76ers. It was with Giannis on the come up, and then you had the Brooklyn Nets with KD. So it was different.
No, he was with the Warriors.
Oh yeah, he was with the Warriors. Okay. There was another team.
You had Kawhi, you had Philly. Boston was kind of irrelevant. So it was, what was it? Philly, Bucks, Raptors. Then you could put the Celtics, maybe.
No, yeah,
those are the 4.
Yeah, because the Celtics.
But the Celtics underachieved that year.
Yeah, they underachieved that year, but they made the conference finals the year before. But yeah, they were kind of in a weird situation. I think they went to go get Kemba after that.
Yeah, because Kyrie Irving demanded out, and that was Kevin Durant's Achilles injury that year.
Yeah, but that the top of that conference, it was weird. I think 2019 to like 2022, the top of that conference was real solid. It was real solid.
Yes.
It was real solid. And, the Western Conference still had a lot of names, but the names didn't really have the impact as people think. Like Dame, I'd have to cross out Dame in the Blazers. I would have to cross out Zion in the Pelicans, the Sacramento Kings. Like, it's just a lot of, like...
There's a lot of empty teams in the West. I'm not going to argue with that.
The Clippers, for the most part, have been an empty team, even with Paul George. The Lakers are an empty team. That's an empty team, no doubt.
What about Phoenix?
Wait, what's so crazy? The Lakers are such an empty team. I just realized Jimmy Butler at least put up a fight in the finals against with that Miami Heat team.
Then, Dragic.
Yeah. Then the Lakers against Jokic in the playoffs that year, getting swept back-to-back years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird, but I would be interested though. I'm not gonna lie, if they remove the conference and just say,
I would much rather have that in the cup, to be honest with you, than like getting rid of the conference.
That would be tough, man. In the cup, like it would be like imagine one team just had a knockout game and they have to go all the way to the West Coast. That's kind of crazy.
No, I think that's where you could do it, because I think the NBA already built their kind of I just don't think people are gonna welcome that kind of change, to be honest with you.
You know what? To be honest with you, the way the league is now, it's a lot of change already got welcomed in. It's already like we're doing fourth quarter replays. We have challenges.
Yeah, but that's a minor change, bro, as compared to like changing the whole dynamics and how NBA works. You're talking about like 2 different things, bro.
No, but they already did in season tournament, the play-in.
Yeah, but even the in-season tournament, you have the East and the West at the end meeting each other.
True, but then you have the play-in where they altered the way the league is. Now you got a 7 seed fighting to stay alive. You know what I mean? Like,
and I don't like the play-in. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, but the play-in kind of made it a little wild card. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of useless now, bro. Because you're kind of rewarding bullshit teams.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about it. But
like last year, Zion and the Pelicans would have been fun if they were just able to secure the 6th seed. But the fact, Zion got injured and we had to see the LeBron James and the Nuggets get swept. It's just like, all right, who gives a shit?
Yeah, that was kind of
Yeah.
tough to watch. Matter of fact, speaking of the NBA Cup, I seen the Houston Rockets clinch it, and it's allowing a lot of fan bases of teams that are normally not in position to possibly go to the Western Conference Finals or NBA Finals. It gives them something to cheer for.
Yeah, you saw with the Indiana Pacers last year.
Yeah, and then the Pistons, the Hawks, the Blazers are kind of still in it. The Kings and Grizzlies and
I
Nuggets
think
are
the
already
Spurs secured their
eliminated.
spot.
Wait, my
The
bad.
Grizzlies are already eliminated.
Yeah, teams that are already
Yeah.
eliminated. The Kings, well, basically they're almost out. They already lost 2 games.
Yeah.
The Kings, Grizzly, Nuggets are basically like one more loss. I mean, pretty much they need a miracle to get out of their group.
Yeah.
But the Blazers, the Rockets, the Hawks, Pistons, their fan base got something to cheer for, man. And that'll be a good look.
Yeah.
That would be a good look.
Like, I don't think Memphis has anything to prove with the in-season tournament, right? Because I think we're kind of expecting bigger from Memphis. But if you're a team like Houston trying to figure out a culture, this is a big morale boost.
Orlando, they got 2 wins, no losses.
Orlando needs a morale boost.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta Hawks also needs a morale boost because they kind of pivoted their roster.
Yeah, Chicago is in it.
Chicago needs a morale boost.
Yeah, even the Clippers are so in it. Let me see who else is in it. The Spurs are in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, the Spurs just beat Utah for it today.
Yep, and then the Warriors clinched the spot. So
yeah,
this is I'm telling you, it's not a bad concept because some fan bases could actually get a little pride right there, man. Something that they never really experienced in a while.
I mean, you're seeing it with Houston Rockets fans. There's a lot of pride in their younger talent.
Yeah, there is a lot of pride. It's gonna take some seasons, but hey, they got something to build on.
Yeah,
I would like to see who I like to see in the in-season cup final. I would like to see like a franchise like the Knicks or like even Palo. Let's say Palo came back. The Magic in there, Palo versus Jalen Green. That would be exciting. Or like I like to see Wemby versus Palo in the finals.
That'd be fun. I think even I don't know, Cade Cunningham would be fun in those events too.
Even the Pistons,
Yeah, a lot of teams could be fun.
Or even the knockout rounds could get interesting. The Pistons versus the Bulls. Or Trae Young versus the Pistons. This could this is the first time we could see like young teams with players on the come up where they have the ability to shine on a stage. Sometimes it's not really about playing on a high level. You get to see the player in a certain stage.
Especially if you're like a pivoting team, you'd want that. Like the Atlanta Hawks are a team that pivoted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for them, it's like now we got more money, we're more flexible, we can be a better team.
Yep. And speaking of the Hawks, man, did you see how they cracked down on Trae Young not playing a game? The league kind of cracked them over the head and charged them $100,000 and did a private investigation with their own doctor. That's how much the league does not want teams benching stars for load management. They are not playing no more.
That's good, man. I mean, dude, how much more can you flex? How much more can you flex the days?
Yeah, but the Hawks, they actually sat him down for one of the in-season tournament games, right? For the Emirates Cup.
Yeah, and the in-season tournament is trying to be the moneymaker for the NBA.
Yep, the NBA is definitely trying to crack down, but the Hawks are maintaining that Trae Young was actually hurt. They're actually standing by it, but the league hired their own doctor to investigate the situation.
The league is going to be a dictatorship, bro.
Yeah.
The league is a dictatorship now. Like, I think the player movement, they're seeing a lot of money loss. And look, the league, do the players deserve the blame? Fuck no. But you know what? They don't. Should they hold blame? Sure, but not 100% of it.
No, I think with the player movement, there was a few mistakes. Like what LeBron
I think
did was fine. He was a free agent. But the only mistake with the player movement is what Kevin Durant did. You don't re-sign with your team and then ask to be traded. That shit was not a good look. Same thing for Anthony Davis. What he did down there in New Orleans, that was not a good
sitting
look.
the season out.
Yeah, that was not a good look. And they were winning. They were winning in the beginning of that year. If you look at the record.
But I think even load management, bro. Like I don't think they like the idea of Kawhi sitting every other 3 days, every other 2 days at this point.
Yeah, and also getting paid.
Yeah, and Embiid has been very shameless about it this year.
Yeah, and then the amount of money these guys are making, it's gonna increase, and it's not a good PR thing to see a guy making $80 million a year gets to sit out games, and then you ask the fans to come in and pay the money for the tickets, and they don't get to see it.
Buy the jerseys.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
I mean, dude, imagine like this: you're an owner, and you hear and you see Paul George resting for a game, but then 3 hours later you see this is podcast P.
Yeah. Yeah, the optics are not right.
Yeah,
you're right. There's a social media aspect to it too. Everyone's more accessible.
Yeah, so like, you're watching him get more money, right? While you're forking over more money to him.
Yes, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be some casualties. Some players are actually gonna be hurt, and they're gonna be kind of forced to. I think the league is gonna calm down on the situation, but when the load management era kind of passes by, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna they're gonna be strict now, but eventually down the line they're gonna dial it back a little bit, because right now the NBA, they got that stink on them, man. They do have the load management. It's a stench that's really on the league. It's like people, certain casual fans that don't really watch the league as hard, the aura around the NBA is that, oh, guys are gonna take the night off, or guys are not going as hard during the regular season. Like that's the aura around the league, and I think Adam Silver is trying to find a way with situations like this with the Hawks, with the independent doctor, and finding the team $100,000. This is his way of kind of putting it out there that we're gonna whip these guys back into shape. Not necessarily we're trying to be the bad guy, but we're trying to get rid of the load management aura that's around the NBA. That narrative, sometimes the narrative is just too loud. It's too loud.
I mean, bro, when ESPN is talking about it, you're in a bad spot.
Yeah, it's just when your everyday casual talks about it, and it's they're watching NBA Twitter and all social media sites. That's pretty much
NBA Twitter is one of the biggest sports communities online,
Yeah, and that's the instant feedback. That's the instant feedback, and like I said, the league is in a transition. Their TV partners just paid a shit ton of money for all these packages, and they're not trying to hear, why we got this game on Amazon, but yet the NBA, we just paid all this money for the game, and we got Joel Embiid sitting out. Meanwhile, this guy was just dancing at a party.
Drummond play basketball.
Yeah,
you have to watch Andre Drummond play basketball, or Paul George sits out, and then 2 hours later is a podcast P episode with him and his boys. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think the medicals too. I don't know if these guys, I don't know what's the medical situation like on the reporting, if teams share it, but some of these players, I think they have chronic problems, and either teams are hiding it or players are dealing with their own doctors, and certain situations are being hidden. Because I don't understand Paul George. He's kind of been under this like load management for a while.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's strange, and especially for him to get the max deal. Like it's not like he came in with a strong reputation to get that max deal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting situation playing out here throughout the league. But also, I want to say this: did you see the Nets and Cam Thomas? They're willing to just say, fuck it, Cam, test the open market. We don't believe you're going to get a deal. That's how much the money has become so tight in the league for the middle tier productive players.
You remember back in the day, it used to be like, yo, we have to snag this guy on a big contract.
Yes. That used to be
middle of the season.
that used to be the going narrative. And
Yeah. Like,
now
if
it's
you don't pay him today, your player's gonna walk out like Gordon Hayward.
correct. But now it's like, he's good, but he's not really getting us over the hill. So, well, we don't
Go
we-
flirt with the market.
yeah, like they'll have a salary cap guru look at all the other teams and be like, we because these guys, they love analytics, so they'll be like,
Yeah.
the odds say it's in our favor, so we might as well let you test it. And then what would end up happening for certain teams, like AKA Mark Cuban, cough cough, with Jalen Brunson, they will see certain teams finesse and get out of certain cap spaces, like the Knicks did, getting rid of certain contracts, and all of a sudden they got over $100 million wide open, and they go grab that guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, we just lost our player. But it's crazy. Cam Thomas is 23 years old, and the Nets
having a career year.
Yeah, having a career year. But the Nets want to tank. They got so many draft picks for this upcoming season, this off season, and they're willing to let go of Johnson too. Johnson.
Yeah. And once the trade market opens, Dorian Finney-Smith and Cam Johnson are for sure leaving.
Yeah, for sure. And then, but not. You know what? I can't really say for sure, because they might not get the number that they expected to get.
They're not getting first overall picks, man.
They're not. No, I'm talking about Cam Thomas, or just any restricted or unrestricted agent.
I'm talking about Johnson.
Oh, Johnson? Yeah. Johnson.
Johnson, Finney-Smith, and I'll even say Dennis Schroeder. Some teams will probably bite.
Now, let me see. Johnson. Dennis Schroeder, yeah, he could walk out for free. He's unrestricted. Cam Johnson is locked in. The only thing is
for another 2 to 3 years, right?
Yeah, he's locked in until 2027.
Yes.
Where is Cam? Where's the other Cam? Cam Thomas, yeah. Cam Thomas, damn, he's on a rookie scale. So yeah,
Cam Johnson is on his second year, and Thomas is on his first year deals.
Yeah, Cam Thomas, yeah, my bad. Cam Thomas is on a rookie scale. Cam Johnson, yeah, he's locked in for 20.
He's on his second contract.
Yeah, 20 mil until 2027. So yeah, so these guys, again, with Cam Thomas, it gets tricky because him, Jonathan Kuminga, they're in the same situation. And I could bundle in Julius Randle and Jimmy Butler. They're productive guys, but their teams are leveraging the open market against them. They're betting that other teams are not going to want to waste cap space on them, so they can either go out and get better players, or so they can situate themselves to get younger. And like before we were talking about, this is where the CBA, it kind of fucked over the middle tier talented players.
Yeah.
It really fucked them over. It's hard for them to cash in on their maximum value. Like D'Angelo Russell is, he's lucky to be in the NBA when he got in, because if he was a lot younger today, it would be hard for D'Angelo Russell to get a large deal.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell got paid big based off his one All-Star appearance.
Correct. The way the league is set up today, this new CBA does not allow that, man. It's hard for teams to even justify it. Look at Lauri Markkanen. He was balling.
Yeah.
And the Jazz were kind of like on the fence. Like, should we pay him? Let's see what we could get if we trade him. Nobody kind of bid in the way they wanted, and they're like, okay, we could pay him.
We could pay him. You'll be the perfect veteran for whatever young talent we get over the course of whatever,
But most other teams, they would have locked him in right away.
Yeah. There's no flexibility anymore, bro.
Yeah.
Like, teams aren't open to take gambles anymore.
And they don't want to get...
I wonder
my bad.
if Ben Simmons decides to continue his NBA career. I sincerely wonder what would his paycheck be.
Oh, man. I tell you what, he Ben Simmons is like what other teams don't really want. They don't want to be stuck in the middle. They don't want to have a bunch of Ben Simmons on their team, and every year they're not bad enough to actually get a lottery pick, but they're not good enough to actually get in the playoffs and make extra
Because
money.
you're not elevating your team.
Yeah. I think
Nope.
that's where the Jazz were trying to avoid when they
Yeah.
were kind of on the fence with Laurie marketing. They were like, we want to get younger, but we don't want to be too good where we're stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
But yo,
But
he deserved that
Laurie,
money.
to
He
his
deserved
credit,
that money though.
he elevates his team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if his team is good or bad, that's another discussion. But he does elevate them.
Oh no, they're on their way to the lottery, but I just think
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to tell with the Jazz. I just don't think in the offseason they've put their best foot forward. I think they're kind of just waiting.
Yeah.
They're kind of just waiting it out. I mean, they're playing the right market for that, but they have what's his name, Danny Ainge. He don't take no chances.
Yeah, Danny Ainge likes his picks.
Yeah, he
He'll
don't
probably-
take no
yeah.
chances.
He'll probably try to flip Laurie when he catches the chance.
Yeah, but again, here's another prime example. Cam Thomas, productive, but yet the Nets, they're willing to go younger and get rid of him. And at the
Yeah.
same time, if they can't get rid of him and get assets for him, they're saying, hey Cam, go out there and see what you can get. The odds are in our favor. You might
Yeah.
actually come back to us. We might actually sign you for a lower deal. Like, that's just the crazy part. They may actually sign him for a higher deal than what's out there, but in terms of what he could have got, it's a fucking lower deal.
Because he's a restricted free agent, right? So if the market decides that he's worth 80 mil, he's gonna get paid 80 mil.
Yep, they just won't match it,
Yeah.
but they're
They
willing
could
to
match
test
it, or
it.
yeah.
They could match it. They could match it. Cause he's a restricted free agent.
Yeah.
So yeah, almost no teams really this offseason got cap space like that. Like, this is a weird league. Like I said, these guys are gonna have to come to the negotiating table again. Because they really got finessed. The players really got finessed with this deal.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, let's see, Pat Bev, he actually gave some great insight to Joel Embiid and some of the laziness. Yo, my man Pat Bev is always with the inside scoop in a very timely manner. You never noticed that? My man spilled the beans on LeBron and what's going on in LA as soon as he dipped out.
What was it? You remember when he talks to the media lady? He's like, "Yo, media lady, do you watch my podcast?" Okay, now get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. Yo, Pat Bev is like the Judas.
Yeah.
It's like the journeyman Judas.
Yeah.
Like, this guy just stabs all the
fucks
teams.
everyone over.
Yeah. You ever see that meme? You ever see that meme with the Grim Reaper, the knocking on the door with the NBA players?
Yeah.
From team. Yo, that's Pat Bev, man. But except it's a microphone.
Like the only players I've never seen Pat Bev fuck over is like Kawhi, Harden, and Giannis.
Yeah. But let's take a look at what Pat Bev had to say about Embiid and some of his habits.
Right, it's been times with Joel Embiid wasn't on time to practice, and me. Come on, Joe, man. What's up, G? Come on, man. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Be better, Joe. Be great, Joe. Be great. And then his response would be like, "What the man? You get me out of bed? I'm an hour and a half away. I had to get up 2 hours, before, because everyone doesn't live the same spots,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So, like, what we go do? Give me my ball. That same night he had 50 and we won.
Yeah.
I think we were 21-9 the first 30 games, like the best record since 2004, Allen Iverson, when I was with Philly. So it's just surprising to see, especially because all the hard work that Nick Nurse and his coaches have put in. Just hard to see.
Yeah. There's a lot of scoop coming out on Embiid, man. It's like all of this is coming out all at the same time.
I'm saying about his work ethic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna keep coming out.
Yeah, you know what? That's what winning solves. All that extra shit that he used to be on that might have been agitating, players. Yeah. Winning would have solved all that. And
well, going to Western Conference probably would have probably solved a lot of it.
Yeah, but also, do we need to kind of simmer down our expectations of Embiid, especially with all his chronic injuries in the past?
Yeah, he's on the decline.
Yeah, do you think like, the fan bases should like, all right, Embiid is nice, but we don't think because of, all that he's been through with his body, we don't think he could last long and actually he's like that Vince Carter meme. Does he have one more in him?
No, Embiid, and bro, I think it's a miracle Embiid's career lasted this long. To be honest with you.
Yeah, when he first came in the league, it wasn't supposed to be like this.
He missed like the first 2 seasons of his career?
He was on a minutes restriction.
2014, 2015, 2016 when he's made his debut.
Yeah, I forgot how it went, but I remember when he first came in the league, either he didn't play or either he was on a 20-minute restriction.
No, he didn't play. I remember he didn't play. And even his rookie year, he didn't play the whole season. No, I think he played 30 to 26 games. Let me look it up. But I'm pretty positive he missed his rookie year.
But I remember he was on a minute restriction because he was balling out.
Yes, that was his second season. Why did Embiid miss his first 2 seasons?
Yo, my man was balling out. That
Oh yeah, there it is.
playing that 20 minutes a game.
The 76ers was forced to sit out the first 2 years of his career due to an injury. These injuries took significant toll and nearly caused him to retire from basketball. That was Joel Embiid's problem. That the first 2 years of his career, he dealt with injuries.
Wow. You know what's so interesting? That doctor, what's his name? That online doctor, Brian Suttner.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of him? He has a huge following online. He's a sports doctor, allegedly, quote unquote, but he has a huge following, a huge YouTube channel also. But he has some interesting quotes about Embiid, man. I'm gonna play it. Let's check it out.
He's had multiple injuries and meniscus tears. The more the meniscus gets damaged, the less it can protect the joint cartilage. This leads to more cartilage wear over time, swelling, and pain. The unknown is how much the meniscus has been damaged over the years and what the cartilage looks like. No, I don't think his career or season should be over, but the narrative and expectations need to change and take the pressure off him. This starts at the top with ownership.
Okay. That's from the doctor himself. You guys could definitely check him out online. Like, he has a huge channel, man. This guy reports almost every major sports injury, and people really take what he has to say. Brian Suttner.
He's right.
Yeah, but so again, should we be lowering our expectations of him?
Yeah. Yes. With Joel Embiid, you have to, bro. Look, bro, I think with Jokic, he's shown to be much more durable. When we talk about the best players, I guess, when we talk about Embiid, who do we really put him in a column with? Jokic and Giannis, right? I think Jokic out of the three has been the most durable. And I think Giannis, when he's on the court, he's a beast. The guy likes to play every game he can, right? But even he's been dealing with nagging injuries. With Embiid, bro, he kind of came into the league dealing with these problems.
Have we seen Embiid at the highest level? I never really remember.
Yes.
I can't remember a playoff series where I said, wow, Embiid really got in there.
2023 regular season.
But what about playoffs?
Never. Because he's never healthy for the playoffs. Or he always has something that nags during the offs.
Yeah, he's been in the league way too long to not have that playoff resume. Because one thing last season people really overlook is that the Knicks just had so many injuries, and they lost 2 more players in that series with the 76ers. So why is Joel Embiid playing over 35 minutes a night, averaging over 30 points a game? Why is he losing to Jalen Brunson and a banged up Knicks squad? Like that, he lost 4 games to 1?
I blame Philly more than I blame him, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, they lost 4 games to 2, I believe.
Yeah. No, I blame Philly more.
You blame Philly more for that series. Why?
Because Philly decided that, we're going to bank on having all this money and signing a free agent instead of actually trying to compete that year.
Oh, yeah, Daryl Morey. Yeah. That's another
so
thing.
How can you really blame? Yeah, but Embiid was injured throughout that year in Philadelphia. Despite knowing that they have a limited time with their superstar, they didn't build them a roster that can compete for that year. What they banked on was another year of having Embiid and getting a potential star like Paul George, which has kind of blown up in their face this year.
Yeah, it really has. Wow. Yeah, Daryl Morey is known for making deals, but we haven't really seen him be known for like roster building. You know what I mean? He makes hell of a deal for blockbuster trades, but we just never seen him build something from the ground up. Like him knowing to go out to get James Harden from OKC.
Morey knows how to construct a roster. I think 2017, 2016 Rockets is a prime example of that, where he brought in Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon. But the problem with him has always been that when he builds a proper roster, he goes after a star instantly. And I think it worked out for him in Houston because you have a durable superstar like James Harden, right? Where you know that he can play next season. And James Harden was very durable up until he left Houston. So when he started to really age. But the thing is, Joel Embiid in his whole career hasn't shown to be durable. So when you have a player like Joel Embiid, you have to always give him a roster that can compete. And for most of his time in Philadelphia, they realized that. Because you remember, first year, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Dario Saric, Robert Covington were a fun team. Lose in the second round. Okay, let's bring in Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris. Oh, Jimmy is gone. Al Horford. Al Horford's gone. Al Horford's gone. Ben Simmons is gone. Bring in Harden. Now you get Maxey. Maxey fits in. Maxey becomes a star. And then you bring in, obviously now Paul George. So they've known this for a long time. But for whatever reason, Philly really bought into the idea of, we can tank this year. Like, this year doesn't count. And then let's hope to bring in the next year and kind of figure it out from there. And I think that's just a stupid way of how Philly looked at it. That's a stupid way how Daryl Morey looked at it, no matter which way you look at it. Because you wasted the season of Embiid's prime. And now the discussions of Embiid is he the best center of the Eastern Conference? Which, yeah, he is when healthy, but he's never healthy. Like, right now, when I think about the best big men in the Eastern Conference, I'm going to be honest, I'm thinking like Jared Allen and Karl Anthony Towns.
Ooh, wow. That's a good one right there. Yeah.
I mean, what's an argument against those guys? I'm talking this season that Karl Anthony Towns and Jared Allen aren't the best centers in the league in the Eastern Conference.
Wow, that's tough. I gotta think about that. That's you
but
cooking right
Embiid
there.
Isn't healthy.
You cooking right there. I ain't gonna lie.
Embiid isn't healthy. Those guys are making impacts on their team.
Wow.
Like, I can't go based off a resume.
Wow. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised, like you said earlier. We should all be surprised Embiid's career lasted this long. This was not the impression that he gave when he first came in. Like, I'm
dude,
shocked.
Imagine missing 2 seasons.
Yeah, I'm shocked he even lasted long enough to win an MVP.
Exactly. Like, I think Embiid's career is gonna go down a little underwhelming. But at the end of the day, it's kind of impressive he's lasted this long. Like, his peak, he kind of came in hot, and he lasted 2016 all the way to 2024. That's 8 years.
Yo, you know what? The 76ers, once again, them holding on to fucking Ben Simmons so long, they needed to move off of him. I think that might have fucked up. That might have ruined their Embiid chances of just capitalizing on that moment.
Yeah, because imagine you have a generational star, but at the same time is a double-edged sword. Because while you have a generational star, that generational star, will never remain healthy for a crazy like LeBron career or Kevin Durant career, or like Jokic will hold down to Kevin Durant, LeBron James career. But you cannot say the same thing for Embiid. I honestly don't know if Embiid will be a top 10 player when we have this conversation in 2027. I'm gonna be honest.
Wow.
No, I don't see it.
He's gonna get paid like one, I tell you that.
No, of course he's gonna get paid. He's gonna have the reputation of one, but I don't see it. Like, I don't see a world where I'm talking about like Joel Embiid being a factor in 2026. I don't see it.
Wow. That is something else. But you know what? The 76ers, the way they are, I don't see them moving off of him unless he completely collapses.
Why would you move off of him?
Ooh, I mean, to be honest with you, let's say the next 2 years, if he's up and down with health, I mean, honestly, it's eventually it's gonna come that time. It's like, hey, you know, we've been through this for almost a decade, and we've invested a lot. We've pushed a lot of stars in and out of the doors, and it's like, yo, you know, you have to know when to throw in the towel eventually.
He's your main attraction.
Man, his contract right now lasts until 2029.
No, I agree, but he's your main attraction. Embiid sells tickets.
Hey, you know what? It wouldn't shock me if McCain if McCain and Maxey give Embiid a run for it as the main attraction.
Look, all you gotta hope, bro. Even that is kind of hard because Embiid's getting his jersey retired when it's all said and done, right?
Oh, yeah,
we can all agree on that.
He deserves it. He deserves it for 76ers.
He deserves to get his jersey retired, and he's probably the biggest star. He's the biggest star they had since Allen Iverson. It's very hard for me to imagine like Philadelphia, the city, moving on from Joel Embiid.
Not really, because at the end of the day, man, we've seen this play out before. These teams, they're gonna love you when you're valuable, but when you start turning that corner, and then they find themselves stuck paying a lot of money for something that's not gonna really work out.
Damaged goods.
Yeah, they start switching up, man. They start switching up on you.
And Philly fan base is very reactionary. Well, the East Coast fan base is very reactionary.
No, I'm not even talking about the fan base. I'm talking about the ownership group.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course, owners are always selfish. But I'm just saying, it's like, I think Embiid will always sell in Philadelphia. Like, it's hard for me to imagine them being open to selling him. Because, you know, a lot of ownerships are selfish in that regard. They mostly look at, how much jerseys and tickets can we sell? So maybe they're like, Embiid sells tickets, so, like, who gives a shit about like if we suck or if we're good?
Mm-hmm. Yo,
like that also plays into a factor.
Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, you know, we'll see. I'm surprised they signed him for that long, until 2029. Wow.
Me too. But I think that just comes back to like his stardom, you know.
And he has a player option for that year.
Yeah, but Philadelphia wasted a lot of time with Embiid because after those first 2 years, when you see this guy's injury prone, they should have just said, all right, let's just try to get a championship as soon as possible.
Yeah, but again, that required them moving off of Ben Simmons, which is that's one thing about this whole trust the process that's really underrated. Them sacrificing so much just to keep Ben Simmons happy. They let Jimmy Butler go. You know what I'm saying? They kind of chose Markelle Fultz, you know, because, you know, he kind of fit in the spacing with Simmons.
Because everyone thought Simmons was the main star.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the sacrifice they made. That's the part of the trusted process that never gets calculated. In Sam Hankey's analytics. It's like what you're sacrificing for that
But Hankey was gone. Hankey was gone by the time they drafted Ben Simmons. Hankey was gone.
I'm not saying Ben Simmons is his project, but I'm saying like overall, like with the whole trusted process situation.
Yeah,
it's like what comes with these first overall picks. Like, look at Embiid. Like they sacrificed their season, but Embiid is an injury-prone big. Then you got a player who's a point guard who cannot shoot. Maybe he's not confident. You know, who has kind of mental issues. It's a lot of things that come with it. The analytics ain't gonna tell you all that.
But I think Philly in back of Philly's mind, where I understand where they come from, but I think in the back of Philly's mind, they didn't know what to expect from the Joel Embiid project. I mean, bro, be honest. Like, if you were a GM, you see your rookie out for 2 seasons, what honestly do you expect from your project? Like, you're going to have doubts.
Yeah, it's a tough position. It's almost like the Pelicans. The Pelicans are in a similar situation. You got Zion.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck
and you don't
to do with him.
Want to give up on Brandon Ingram too soon, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, with the situation with Ingram, you know you can't give up on him, but you know you can't pay him too much.
Yeah. So you're kind of like, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because like if Zion fails, you still have the second overall pick from 2017, but that 2017 second overall pick isn't leading you to a championship.
And it's not even boosting up ticket sales like that. Not really
No, because he's
adding.
not Zion.
Yeah, it's not really adding a box office element
Yeah.
to it. Jersey sales, not really nothing.
But
Yes,
the Ben
it's a tough
Simmons
spot.
and Embiid. But I honestly do think that first year of them together, Simmons was a bigger star.
Mm-hmm.
Until I don't know when do you think the conversation changed? 2020, where you saw the conversation of like Ben Simmons becoming like instead of potential, it's like, all right, it's Embiid's team. Like, when do you think that conversation changed?
When people saw Simmons' shot ain't changed, and then they saw him in the playoffs like at least 2 times.
Because I think by the time Atlanta, the conversation already changed to Embiid being the star player.
Yeah. By that time, yeah, Embiid was already considered the star.
So I think it might have been 20, like the bubble where the conversation might have changed.
Yeah. It might have just started to change then. No, you know what? What about that series with Jimmy Butler? That was 2019. I think by
You talking about the Kawhi series?
Yeah, the Kawhi series. I think that's when the conversation changed. Cause Embiid had a better run in the playoffs.
Yeah. Embiid had a better run, and Ben kind of gave up on the play. Like the legendary shot, you have to blame Ben Simmons because he did give up on the defensive play.
Yeah. By that time, Embiid was kind of the guy.
Yeah.
Embiid was kind of
Embiid was always the guy, but there was always a conversation of Ben Simmons being the guy.
Yeah. But you see, the 76ers around that time, they were still invested in Simmons because they let Jimmy Butler go. Jimmy Butler started calling out the bullshit that was going on with the team. He's like, yo, how come nobody's talking? And like, you know what I'm saying? He started calling out, like, who's everybody protecting? And it's like, it's Simmons. And it's like, it's like, he got out of there, man. Jimmy got out of there.
Also, when it comes to Ben Simmons, you remember they hired the coach he wanted, Brett Brown.
See, again, that's the investment. That's what I'm saying. They were too committed. This whole Embiid situation, if it doesn't work out, the 76ers will always look at, we held on to everything that came with Ben Simmons too fucking long, and it cost us.
Like Brett Brown and his father were actually like coach player relationship, so that's why like you saw him like instantly become buds with Ben Simmons.
Yeah, it's just the guy. I really don't know. Even his agency dropped him, so I really don't know.
Rich Paul dropped him.
Yeah, they parted ways. You know how they're gonna word it. We parted ways. Why would you part ways? I've never seen an agency part ways with a star that's on a max deal.
You saw that with the Zion Williamson recently.
Yeah, but it's a little different with Ben, because think about it. They stuck by him getting paid, going to Brooklyn while not playing. Philly tried to sue him to get the money back. There was already a lot of years of just questionable things, but we all know Simmons got his money at the end of the day.
And Rich Paul wanted him out too, by the way.
Man.
Remember, Rich Paul wanted him out of Philly after the Atlanta Hawks fiasco.
It's too much that comes. It's just this whole trust the process shit. This shit gonna need a documentary. I'm not gonna lie. This needs a full documentary. Hopefully these people be honest when they make it.
Yo, did you see Zion wants to play for the Knicks?
Yeah, but it's too late. Like nobody. Zion is lucky to even get a small market, another small market team wanting him.
Yeah.
Like, again,
honestly, Zion should want to play for a small market. I don't know why the Knicks is a good idea in this head.
It was a good idea back in like 2019, but it's too late now.
Of course it was.
And this is
way too late.
And this is what we were talking about earlier. Young, fresh new lottery picks are gonna have a smaller window, and Zion is part of that transition. It's like that class of players that came in where you got a little breathing room to average your 20 plus points a game. and then after a while your team started, trying to win for real. But now Zion is, injured on and off the court. But I don't think he's realizing that window for him to prove himself, it keeps shrinking real fast because the talent that's coming up behind him is so good.
Yeah.
From the top 14 picks all the way down to like early second round. There's gonna be like at least a couple guys every other draft that pop off. Again, Jalen Brunson, Draymond Green, look at Jokic. There's just a ton of guys, man. It's just there's so much talent in the league that, hey, you could get phased out real fast.
Yeah, and he's gonna see that eventually. Right now, he's relevant, but in a season from now, like even mid-season, who knows what? Like, if he's not back and healthy and he's not playing good, who's gonna give a shit?
Man, he's a young player that's relevant off of what he did in the past. That's the crazy part. Usually, you see
off of what he's shown.
Yeah,
off of the potential he's shown.
Usually, you see that with older players like Paul George. Paul George is older, but he's relevant off of stuff he did in the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Zion is super young to be relevant off of the stuff you did in the past. Is kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna say the past, off of signs, like off of games that like you're healthy. That's not a good look. Like the Lakers 45 points is great, but dog, it shouldn't be like an everyday thing.
Yeah, it's just that I think that second he had a year where he averaged like almost 28.
Yeah, I remember that. That was his all-star year.
Yo, that season is what's really he's living off of right now, because there's people right now that's clocking again with the league having all these analytical guys. They're clocking how much times he's going to the rim, and there's data out there that's showing he's going there less and less. He's converting less and less at the rim. He doesn't really have a shot. He doesn't have a post game. It's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
There's stats that show that he's already on the decline.
The amount of games he's missing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
He's also one of those guys, if he reaches like 10 seasons, makes like six All-Star games, I'll probably put him in a guy who overachieves. I'm going to be honest. Based off his injury struggles. Same with Embiid.
Wow. All-Star games?
Yeah. I think at this point, I think asking him MVP at this point is like, it's like too late.
Again,
I just think his body doesn't let him.
I was kind of early on it. I said, hey, last season, the man played 72 games, averaged 22 points a game, nowhere near NBA All-Third Team, nowhere near All-Star, and nobody said shit. I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy. Like, again,
this is a double-edged sword with him.
Yeah, it's like, but that's the market. That's the power of the marketing of when you first appear in the NBA. It's how you come in. He came in as a first overall hyped up pick. Even if the numbers tell you, oh, he's averaging 10 points a game, they would still see him as a star. It takes a while for that marketing to wear off. Fans would be like, oh, he's starting to be a bust. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't go as far as to say a bust, bro.
No, it's not
I don't
a
even
bust,
consider.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, for like his potential is stunted.
Yeah, because of these injuries. Like, I don't even know if it's a mental thing. I think it's just an injury thing for him.
Yeah, but it's an injury. Is also his body type was already difficult to work with.
Yeah,
he might be 6'6". You know what I mean? He might be 6'6", based off of the pictures. And he's a big. He kind of needs the weight.
He has to bang with big men.
Yeah,
you have to bang with big men. You're banging with Jared Allen.
Yeah, but he needs the weight. The weight is kind of his strength. Like maybe
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, maybe the NBA never seen a body type like that where he needs the weight, because you can't really tell him to lose too much weight, because then you take away his superpowers.
You take away his strength.
Yeah, you take away his super.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a friend. He's like, man, he needs to lose a weight. I'm like, bro, then he's not Zion.
Yeah. He's not Zion. He just becomes, I was about to say Brandon Ingram, but you know what I mean? Like, he just becomes, I meant as far as frame, how skinny. But I'm just like, yo, he just becomes like skinny Zion is like, I don't know if that works at 6'6".
Because even his passing abilities is really, I think his passing ability is extremely underrated. But I think because of his ability to bang down low is why he gets these open playmaking for other players. That's how he's able to create shots for his other players.
Yeah, the league is. I mean, it's unfortunate for him. 'Cause I think him going to the Pelicans kind of fucked up his career because again, I don't think the Pelicans have the investment in their medical staff to deal with his body type, which has never been seen before.
Yeah.
You know, where he kind of needs the weight, but we need him to bang down low with bigger guys. But then again, we need him mobile enough where he could use that agility, that burst that he has. They don't know how to. There hasn't been that type of NBA body before.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you
But,
maintain this?
For me, like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, he's only 24, so I do give him I think he's 24. He's my age, so I do give him a lot of benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, I'm not expecting MVP anymore. Like, at this point, I expect him to be like Jaren Jackson Jr. level player. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because Jaren Jackson's a B tier player.
Yeah, but compared to Zion's profile, that's not good. But you know, hey, as long as he stays in the league, man, hey, that's a win.
That's a win because that's all you can ask for at this point. Like, if he had the health level of, like, let's say Franz, who's a very healthy young player.
Amen Thompson.
But like, Amen Thompson isn't a star player though. Like,
Oh no,
a young
yeah.
star player.
No, but I thought you meant health wise.
No, like a young, healthy star player.
You could say Trae Young is pretty healthy.
Trae Young, then you know
games.
it'd be a disappointment if he becomes a beer tier player. But I'm at that point where I'm like, bro, at this point, if he's Jaren Jackson Jr., Karl Anthony Towns, he's lucky.
Yo, I don't think he's gonna. Nah, Towns is. Damn, man, we're talking about, what is this? Year 5 or year 6?
Yeah.
Yo, I would say RJ Barrett, as far as productivity in the NBA, has like, yo, Zion is lucky if he catches up to Barrett at this point.
He passed Barrett, bro.
You think he passed Barrett in productivity in the NBA?
Bro, he's a 3-time All-Star.
Zion Williams?
Zion Williams was like a 2 or 3-time All-Star.
Bro, I don't think he passed RJ Barrett in I'm talking overall productivity.
You talking about health or product?
No,
like, you're talking health or
being,
like just
being in the league, playing games, putting the bucket through the hoop, scoring, rebounding. Yeah, I think RJ Barrett productivity has been way more.
Yeah, RJ Barrett's a lot healthier, but I thought you're talking about like overall resume. I'm like, bro, that's
no,
crazy.
no, I'm not talking. I'm talking about total pro. I'm saying no.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing their talent level. I'm talking about them coming into the league, putting the ball through the hoop, getting rebounds, like what you paid for. Like they paid for something and they gave you this amount.
Yeah,
of
you're
buckets.
getting more out of.
Like
You're getting more out of RJ Barrett.
No, what I'm saying is that I'm saying Zion is lucky if his productivity ever reaches RJ Barrett's numbers in total for his career. He's lucky at this because I feel like RJ now has like almost a 4-year head start, and Zion has to catch up.
Yeah, 100%. But I think RJ has been the more available player out of his draft class too.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the overall productivity that's part of his productivity is being available.
Like, even John Morant's always shaky, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and you see, as good as John Morant has been, right? At least he made the playoffs, etc. Right? Him having that step back for 2 years, it kind of like put him in a position where he's like, oh shit, I got to fight back for my relevance, right?
And he's still missing games this year.
Yeah, he's still missing games, but Zion, his situation is 10 times worse. It's like, bro,
100%.
Yo,
now you missed 2 seasons. You missed like what, more than 2 seasons now.
You remember
he's most likely missing a good portion of this season.
Oh yeah, for sure, off a hamstring.
Yeah.
Which first they said day to day, and then they said indefinitely. That's the crazy
I think eventually
shit.
we're gonna see a lawsuit. I don't know if it's gonna be him, but we're gonna see a team do a lawsuit. Against we're gonna see a team do a lawsuit against these medical staffs one of these days.
Yeah, I just don't think the Pelicans was the right franchise to be equipped to handle him. Let's just say somehow Zion ended up in the Warriors, even though we know that could never happen. I'm pretty sure the Warriors have the resources to say, hey, we're gonna go find, you know, doctors that specialize in and diet, and then also his body type. Even if we have to pay someone to fly overseas where they have more people with a similar body type, and get that doctor and bring him here to bring him here to the Bay Area. I feel like the New Orleans Pelicans, they don't have the organization that thinks on that level. They just don't.
I think you're gonna see it.
Sometimes, hold on, my bad. Sometimes it's not about the money. Every organization is rich, but the thinking level is different. You know what I mean? The level of thought put into like a superstar like Zion, the thought process of maintaining him is way different. And I think New Orleans Pelicans, it's third tier. It's third tier. They've never really had an organization that's shown that they had full investment into a player. You just never
Yeah,
seen
even
that.
Anthony Davis had lingering injuries in his time in New Orleans.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
it just seems like, you know, the league was looking for an owner, and then last minute the people on the Saints just said, fuck it, okay, we'll just buy it. And it just seems like it's just there. You know,
Yeah.
the franchise is just there. To be honest, the NBA needs to move that team either to a different owner or just move it into Seattle. Like at this point,
Bro,
it's just like
New Orleans is such a big market too, bro. That's the thing.
it is, but that ownership group needs to go. Like
Yeah.
it needs to go. It's just they're not invested. They're more. They got their NFL. You know, they stick with that.
There's
But
college football too.
this NBA, it works a lot different. You have to actually. Sometimes you might have a player where his branding, his logo is actually bigger than the logo of your franchise. That's how the NBA works.
Yeah.
But in the NFL, it's not like that. And I feel like, you know, that ownership group, they treat the Pelicans like the Saints. They think it's about the logo. It's a different thought process.
Let me pivot to you. Let me ask you this question. So the whole 2010s, right? We watched basketball. Let's go like a nostalgia trip if you're down.
Mhm.
Who do you think in this nostalgia period? Who do you think in the 2010s to now who has been the most overrated player in your opinion?
Oh, I don't know.
Like top players, just think like overrated.
The 2010s. You mean from like the year 2000 and 2010?
2010 all the way to 2019.
The most overrated. Man, people
Like
not
which player, in your opinion, was viewed as a top tier player, but you just didn't see it?
of the 2010s to 2020.
20, yeah.
Man, it's hard to tell.
Let me throw out a name.
It's I mean, for sure, and you know, people might not like me saying this. It's gonna be the players that were aging out, like Dirk. It's gonna be the players that were aging out of the league. Kobe.
Oh, I don't really consider Dirk to be 2010s.
Oh, okay, yeah, they were still there.
Yeah, they were still there, but they weren't at their peak 2010s. The names I'm trying to mention is LeBron, Kawhi, Paul George, Russell Westbrook. Like those names I'm trying to really get on.
Oh, okay, you're trying to get on those names.
Yeah. But I think Dirk, those guys, like they won a championship, but they kind of phased out, you know, to being role players or veteran guys or retired.
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say because some of these guys, they just had like a 2-year run.
Do you think Paul George, with the way people treat him, has been treated overrated?
Yeah, for his results ever since he went to OKC, yeah, it's kind of really been that.
I think a lot of people look at his career a little overrated, bro.
Yeah, you know what? You know, again, it's how people were introduced to him. A lot of people were introduced to him battling LeBron in the playoffs, and he also eliminated Melo.
Because I think a lot of people always had him as a conversation as a superstar player. But I don't know, with Paul George, I only see one season where he might have belonged in that where he belonged in that conversation.
And that what? That's
only one season.
2011?
2019.
Wow, you put it back over to 2019?
That's it. Like 2013, I don't see a world in my mind, I don't know if Russell Westbrook. I don't know if I don't know if I put him there as a top player in 2013.
Oh, you're talking about when he was in OKC.
Yes, I think that was probably like his 1 year where he was a superstar.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me because with the Pacers, they didn't play that type of style where it's like one guy dominating
Yeah,
the ball. It's hard to
because
tell.
I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, like when we look at the 2010s, right? Like obviously, like Steph defines the 2010s. LeBron, Kevin Durant, those guys define the 2010s, right?
Hmm.
But you also had guys like Kawhi who kind of been able to pop off and win 2 championships during those times. You had the rise of Giannis, and then for whatever reason, I always see Paul George a part of that conversation.
Yeah, it's because our people were really introduced to Paul George when he was battling LeBron in those back-to-back playoff years.
Yeah,
Eliminating Melo, giving LeBron and those Miami Heat issues. That's how, like, a lot with the NBA is how people were introduced to somebody. You
but
know,
even those years, I don't think I wouldn't say Paul George was a top 10 player in that 2013 year. Like I don't know if Paul George is ever like a top 10 player beside that 1 year.
yeah, I wouldn't, I don't think so either. It's hard to
Like I
tell.
give Jimmy Butler more flowers than Paul George.
Yeah, it's just the organization PG played for. They didn't have that play style.
Yeah,
They didn't
but no,
have.
I'm just saying like body of resume. I think like Jimmy Butler easily has a better resume,
Oh
but
yeah,
Jimmy was
Jimmy.
never a bigger name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Jimmy definitely does.
but he's just not a bigger name,
No, he's not a bigger name. I mean,
and he's been around more teams.
I would say Dame is one.
What about Melo? Because I always put
Yeah,
Melo
yeah,
in that too.
Melo's there too. Melo's
Yeah,
definitely there
I
too.
think Melo.
Dame is there because he got the green light to shoot like that.
Yeah,
If any other player had the same green light, they would put up the same numbers.
you know sometimes Chris Paul, but not all the time.
Yeah, Chris Paul. Chris Paul is just. I think his problem is that in big moments, I don't know, something is up with him. Just when it's like it's a huge pressurized moment. It's just my man turns into like a running back that fumbles the ball.
I always felt like the conversation around him, like as great as he was, the conversation around him were very dishonest.
Yeah, it was. He's well liked. I mean, it's obvious he's
Yeah.
connected in the media. There's certain
Yeah,
guys.
like the whole conversation around him being close to Steph was always ridiculous.
Yeah, the whole conversation around the Houston Rockets, kind of that Houston Rockets team eliminating, would have eliminated Golden State is that season when they actually I think took them to 7. People never talk about how Andre Iguodala got hurt when they were up 2-0. They never bring that up. But I think what it is that that's the analytical crowd that tries to bring Daryl Morey up into praise. They'd be like, oh, he constructed a team that almost eliminated the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to lift him up because he gives like the NBA world an excuse to hire analytical people. For because that job is a multi-million-dollar job, that executive job, but it's not really an analytical job. But they're trying to turn it into that.
But I'm gonna be honest, dude. I also think another factor that plays into it is that I think a lot of people weren't willing to accept the NBA changing. But I think a lot of people still held on to the idea of a trend. Like, I think a lot of people during Steph's early years of becoming the best point guard in the league, a lot of people still had the idea of a point guard is a guy who sets up plays instead of a point guard being that defined scorer.
No, I don't really think it was that. I think it was there was a transition happening, and it was
but you remember that one year in the draft when they had like the top point guards in the league and they didn't put Steph Curry in it in the 2017 draft, I believe, because they tried to make Steph Curry out not to be like a pure point guard.
Yeah, because that was the in between transition years, like
Yes.
where I wouldn't say the league was going analytical. I think what it really was just an influx of people trying to bring analytics into the NBA.
But I think that was a lack of people, like media guys, not willing to take change.
No, and I don't think it was that, because what it is that a lot of media guys, some of them were even being offered jobs in NBA front offices because of analytics.
And I remember one of them took a job at the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, because of analytics. There were guys that never played even high school basketball, and they were offered some of the highest levels in NBA front office jobs. Like, that to me is crazy.
Yes.
That to me is crazy. Like, that's how much, I would say, and then also media members were promoting it because they saw themselves possibly getting these jobs. I think even Zach Lowe was offered an NBA executive job because of the whole analytics era. Like, there was a transition. Like, at the end of the day, like, that era, I think I would say it's between 2015 to like 2019. 2019 is when we started to see it wear off after the bubble season. That's when the whole analytics, because you know what it was? A lot of teams were really bad. They were nowhere near winning. And then owners had like at least 4 to 5 years worth of evidence showing that, hey, this analytics guy, this shit ain't really working. And so they went right back into hiring head coaches. That's when we've seen the influx of young head coaches, like the Tyronn Lue types, the Chauncey Billups. We start to see real players who played the game come back and coach. Because there was a short time period where even black head coaches, the league during that analytics era, that the league went from like almost like half of the coaches were African American to now it was almost like less than like 5%. They were just hiring analytical guys, and then the players were getting frustrated. They didn't relate to the coaches. We've seen a few scuffles happen. Look at the Bulls coach. I forgot his name, the one that got fired during that era. There was a lot of incidents like that. What's his name?
Fred Hoiberg?
I forgot, man. The guy that was making the weird comments, man. There was just a lot of disconnect during that era.
It was after Tibbs, it was Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He was horrible though. Whatever coach he was.
Jim Boylan. Jim Boylan.
Yeah. There was just like an era of like a disconnect where it was like even Earl Watson talked about it. He said he was a coach of the Suns, and an executive came down the steps and told him, "Hey, you need to shoot X amount of threes more per game, or else, or some shit like that." And he didn't even have the personnel to do that.
Boylan was a guy. He was an assistant coach and a video guy for the Rockets back in the championship days, and obviously worked with the Spurs. So you knew he was like more of an analytics bullshit guy.
Yeah, but again, like I don't know. It's just there was a push with media members also because they seen their colleagues getting offered multi-million-dollar NBA jobs, and I'm telling you that they kind of pushed this whole, because the Warriors didn't really, they used analytics, but they also were kind of old school. They played defense. Their team was kind of being constructed by Jerry West. They had Steve Kerr, who had experience with the Bulls. There was like real basketball pedigree in that franchise, but the NBA media made it seem like that franchise was using analytics, and then they kind of spread it across the league. Like, that's why you had the head coaches during the press conference slamming the desk. Oh, take that for data, and et cetera, like all these dust ups with the media, because the media was trying to promote this so a lot of these guys can get multi-million-dollar jobs. I really think that's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. Like, of why there was a push.
Too over time.
Yeah, and it got phased out because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, you have these guys, you have a team with no 3-point shooters, but the front office guy who never watched the game, just looking at numbers, is telling you, hey, you need to shoot 24 more threes. It's just it's not really computing, man. And the NBA product around that time frame was some of the worst basketball. Remember, in the first half, we seen teams down by 40. Even in the first quarter, there were certain teams that could shoot threes. They were hot certain nights. and they were blowing out other teams because other teams was just trying to copy the Warriors. It was a really bad product, man. I felt like the league really took a hit with that. Adam Silver, he got too caught up in that. It sounded nice because of the tech boom. You think about the Golden State Warriors were popping off. They're becoming a winning franchise. At the same time, they're out there in Silicon Valley. So I don't know if the league tried to infuse those two worlds together, but it just made for a shit product, man. It just made for a shit product. And the only team that could really play with the 3-point analytics was Golden State. When the Rockets tried to imitate it, it kind of blew up in their face around 2019 when everybody from Austin Rivers, PJ Tucker, Trevor Ariza, everybody left the Rockets saying, yo, I fucking hate it here. Even Mike D'Antoni put in his paperwork and he left. Because Mike D'Antoni, when he was in Phoenix, they used the whole court. They used mid-range. Then the mid-range opened up to 3. Then if the 3 opened up, you know, because they're guarding you so close, now it's layups. Mike D'Antoni used everything.
And you saw the 27-3 game, 27 threes missed.
I say that again?
The 27 threes missed with the Rockets.
Yeah. It's like that type of basketball, it just, it's nasty.
Not sustainable.
It's nasty to watch. Like Adam Silver, I understand, like, you know, you want to, you know, more modernize everything with analytics. It sounds cool, like you infusing the tech or whatever. But that shit made for a shit product on television. Horrible. Like, I understand why the ratings dropped. And I feel like that reputation still follows the NBA today.
Yes.
It still follows it, even though they kind of picked up the pace and picked up the physicality. They picked it up a little bit. But it's like, hey, this whole Daryl Morey ball, that shit. Notice how Daryl Morey went to Philly. And people on the East Coast don't like that shit. Daryl Morey knows better not to run that. Do not run that Daryl Morey ball out in Philly, New York, Boston. You cannot do that. No.
You can't even do it in Indiana or Cleveland, to be honest with you.
Nah, you can't do that over there either. Those places, nah. There's certain places you cannot play basketball like that. No way.
No, you can't. Like Houston, Dallas, they're business cities, so they don't give a fuck. They probably invite it, you know, they welcome it. Yeah. And Brooklyn welcomes it for sure.
Brooklyn really didn't. Brooklyn really didn't. Nope. I'm telling you, the hottest ticket in town when James Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant was in Brooklyn was Julius Randle and RJ Barrett in the Knicks.
Yeah.
Only ESPN. It was amazing watching ESPN every day. Well, whenever I saw ESPN, the way they promoted the Brooklyn Nets. But meanwhile, when I was like going to work, I'm walking past the stadium, and the talk in the town, the talk on the street is the Knicks.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, is this it's not really a disconnect. It's just the way you could tell what the NBA wants to be promoted. So I'm just like, it is what it is. But the city never bought into this 3-point finesse transplant basketball. You know what I mean? It's not the way Boston likes their basketball. Even the way the Celtics play today, they of course shoot more threes, but if you notice, they're playing great defense. It's kind of an old school Golden State kind of play. You don't notice that?
Yes.
They're shooting threes, but it looks old school because it's like you see their defense, the way they're physically playing. It looks different. All right, you guys definitely check out Syed's Substack in the description below. And we're going to continue this on with some game film.
Right about now, we're going to start to change the pace and change the style.
So we're back. So now this is the visual version. We're going to go over some game film here. But yes, talk a little bit about Franz Wagner, Franz is killing it, man.
Bro, he's killing it. Well, bro, with Franz Wagner, the narrative last season coming into like the regular season was, can Franz really make that jump into becoming an NBA star? But it was a big question. Everyone was concerned about it, especially with how hot and cold he was during the postseason against Cleveland and the Olympics, where he had a bad ending to his Olympic series, right? So a lot of question was around him. Is Franz really the star that we were sold on from his rookie year, or he's just a high-end role player? But this season so far, I have to give him credit. He's shown out big for the the Orlando Magic with Paulo Banchero taking a while out. So the fact they were like, from what I wrote it on the 24th, since then it's been changed, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the current record is what, 9 and something, if I'm not wrong.
In the last 10 games, they're 9-1. So yeah, that's exactly
9-1.
Yeah, we're about to exactly go over some of that right here. But they're 9
Yeah.
and 1.
So 9-1. He's been able to transform a lot of his game. I think his rebounding and passing abilities have really shown out with 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Franz Wagner has become a great scorer all around the court. And I think his 3-point shots were always kind of scary because he was one of the worst 3-point shooters in the league, but he's made improvements in that department where he's shooting 34%, kind of like a little below league average, like a little below league average, but still like teams are going to be much more mindful when he takes those threes instead of ignoring them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think he's also really good at the defensive end with his size and how he can use his body to defend players.
So now, yeah, we're gonna see Franz work the pick and roll, and yeah,
Yeah.
just the way he's moving around right now. Now notice like he's comfortable for a big guy in the paint. Now
Yeah.
right here,
I
like
mean, dude.
now right here, right? Check him out right here. How he kind of just stays patient. This is a tight space that he's in right now, and this is what he's really been working on this season, staying kind of patient, not creating turnovers. This is why they went 9-1 in their last 10.
Yeah, bro. I mean, dude, just look at the way he uses the pick and roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then look at an open Isaac off the cut. This is what you kind of need from the franchise. Your second option, the guy you paid 200 million for 5 years. This is what you need. These kind of developments in his game. And Franz has been able to do that at the table. Is the way he uses those screens, especially with Goga setting them the screen, him coming off the screen and kind of passing it to his open guy, Jonathan Isaac, cutting to the basket.
Yeah, he kind of looked them off right there, and I'm telling you, man, this is one of the reasons why they went like 9-1 in their past 10, because he's gotten real comfortable using that big size that he has and getting into the paint, like using that big size, getting into the paint, being comfortable, staying patient. Like he's displaying a lot of that throughout these past 10 games in the paint.
Yes. And the way him and Goga, they have great connections on the pick and roll. If you watch,
Yeah.
they have great chemistry on the pick and roll because that is like he knows how to get the floor open for his other swing player. I believe 23 on the Magic is the rookie, I believe. Tristan Silva, their younger guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does a good job in getting open based off the front screen. Can you play it one more time? Like just look, he's in no man's land, but still the defenders they're all focusing on Wagner because if he gets his floater, then that's an easy basket. So Tristan has a good shot to hit those shots.
Yeah, so again, he stays real patient in the paint using that size. Like he's a great combination of good size and good just patience and just, look, he's comfortable in there. Look. And this is a no look. He kind of looked at he looked them open.
Yeah, because the defenders, like you see, Goa could hit the pick and roll, or he could drive in and get an easy layup or in a floater. But you said space, all that real estate with him, right? And Franz knows that, and he was able to dish it out. Like he knows how to use his body. He knows how strong he is. He could get to the basket easy. He's very crafty when it comes to getting to the basket, right? So Franz knows that I can get my teammates open, and that's what makes him such a great player.
All right, so right here, once again, him showing his patience getting into the paint. Like just
I think once again it shows the chemistry between him and Goga, bro.
Yeah, and the thing I notice about him, sometimes he pretends to go up and then he passes.
Yeah.
So he kind of does the same thing Luka does a little bit. Kind of look
He's
guys
scary.
open.
He's a scary player. He's a very scary player because, like, you can see he creates this opportunity where you see the defenders, they all lapse towards him, right? Because they kind of want to, they know this guy can body through one or two defenders. So you kind of have to collapse on him, which opens up Anthony Black and Tristan Silva to get those 3-point shots.
Facts. And the Magic really need this because this defense is ranked what bottom. they're like bottom like 6 or 7 defense. I think they're number 25 in their
The Orlando Magic.
no, yeah. I mean their offense. Their offense is
Their
actually
offense is not good.
yeah, it's a
So
bottom
you
tier
need
offense.
someone to create shots. Yes.
Correct.
And they don't have much of guys who can create shots aside of him and Benchero. And Benchero, unfortunately, is injured. So we get plays like this, and I think another clip, like where you see Paul, like Franz, he's much more confident in creating his own shot. And one thing you have to give him his flowers. He's much more comfortable in taking those 3-point shots. Where last year you saw mental lapse. Even in the Olympics, you saw a lot of mental lapse with him.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, now he gets the steal right here, and he actually, does a no look.
Yeah.
Like he's real comfortable even in transition passing the ball. Like he.
Bro, it's all.
Mm-hmm.
Dion. His full court game is impressive, bro. Like, just his help defense. Obviously, his help defense was great in that possession, but just his vision on the full court is what really differentiates Franz and what makes him into a star in today's NBA. Is his ability to see everybody on the court, his ability to open up plays for other players, his ability to just get a steal, a rebound, and just run, just make the player have the players along with you run in full sprints, opening shots for everyone. That's what makes Franz special this season. That's what changes Franz this year. I think that's what changes everything for him in the Orlando Magic.
Correct. See it again.
No, he creates opportunities for both Anthony Black and Mo Wagner.
Correct. So Christian right here, he hedges, right?
Yeah.
And so he stays patient right here, and he actually floats it up. And
and it opens the floor up for Mo Wagner to get a shot.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, even if Mo Wagner decided to pass, Anthony Black would have been open because D'Lo's attention was on Mo Wagner.
Yeah. So Christian right here, he hedges. And then he basically attacks his man on the hedge right here. D'Lo's too small. I'm pretty sure Wagner's height, man, like he just allows him to see the court just like Luka.
Yeah.
And he knows D'Lo's exposed right here. He's compromised because Black was open. So D'Lo
Black is open and the rim is open for Mo to get a dunk.
Yeah. It's easy. But yeah, they really need this. Do you think when they go back and Palo comes back, because they both kind of operate in the same position right here, do you think Franz is going to be allowed to operate like this, or do you think how's it going to look like? Because it seems like he's getting comfortable.
Yeah, that's the scary part. That's the part. I like their coaching staff. I think he's Jamal Mosley. I believe he's a very talented coach. So I'm kind of hoping he'd make it work. But I think what they could do is maybe since your offense is weak overall, what I would imagine what would happen is when Palo's on the bench, like one of them has to be on the court at all times, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if Pablo's on the bench, then Franz plays. If Franz is on the bench, then Palo plays. But also Franz is a good off-ball player too. And that's what makes him, like I said, a complete player. Where I think a lot of the responsibilities that you could see Palo taking, you could see Franz being able to play a little bit of off-ball and maybe make an extra pass. I think there's a lot of promise that Franz has shown.
Yeah, he also with his passing, I want to say, like, he even could pass out of the high post, like in a post-up position, like
where he shoots it off the dribble. You're talking about this one against Josh Green guarding him?
Yeah, so he beats him off the dribble, right? Wow.
Yes.
It's a pretty large player to be doing this once again. And man, imagine if Palo just really develops like a 3-point shot, or just his shooting just goes up crazy. Like this is a really nasty combination to have right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has good patience. See, once he gets in a tight space like this, like once he gets around the high post, he always makes sure that he touches the paint. That way, once the defense fully collapses, he's tall enough at his height to see everything, just like Luka, and he starts just working out his magic. Like
he has good body control.
Yeah, so he basically in a way allows the Magic to get easier offense because guys are really not knocking down shots like that. But
you see, like Cole Anthony and Mo Wagner, both of them are open. Like both of them have space to either get a dunk off the baseline or
Mhm.
shoot a good-looking three.
Yeah, so right here, again, he's just staying patient with it.
Because you see, Josh Green and Cody Martin, they're both collapsing on Franz Wagner in that play, and then that opens up the floor for either like Anthony Black, and we just saw obviously Mo Wagner cut to baseline. Like he's just great at opening the floor up, and I think you didn't show his scoring abilities, but I think that's what also draws him and makes him into a threat on the offensive end. Is like you can't really like that's why there's so much attention to detail when he's on the court.
Yeah, the 3-point shooting, I don't know if he shot like that before. I don't remember him shooting like that before.
No,
Maybe he just got more reps and that's just what it is. All right, so right here, this is the game winner against the Lakers.
Yeah.
So they hedge off the screen, or did they?
yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know. Like my 3 years watching him, I never really seen him that comfortable shooting a three.
Yeah, I'm noticing Lakers have AD on him.
Yeah.
This is Cam Reddish right here, I assume.
Yeah, that's Cam Reddish. So,
So, yeah,
what I think happened is I think they were assuming that he'd drive in.
Yeah, so Cam
Yeah.
hedged, and of course, this is Suggs on the pop out.
Yeah.
He's not really a 3-point threat like that.
No.
But 1-on-1 with Cam, yeah, he kind of. Damn it, I did not expect that. I don't think the Laker fans expected that either.
No. Bro, I didn't expect that. I didn't think Franz would shoot that three. I was assuming he'd drive in, but he also didn't have the time to drive in. So I thought he'd force a good bad three. But he was able to get a quality three off of that play, off of his off the dribble play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 3-point shooting during this 10-game stretch, I'm not gonna lie, it's been one of the highlights of this Magic offense. That's been at times a little bit steep, but the Magic, I believe they have like the second best offense. Let's see, I had it in a note.
Defense.
Defense.
They're one of
my
the best
bad.
defensive teams.
Defense, yeah.
Yeah. And I think with Ben Cheryl, I think their chemistry right now is good, but they're still young, so they're still figuring it out, right? But I also want to know like how they'll match up with each other. I think Pablo's much more comfortable with the ball, and rightfully so, he's a better player. But I think both of them, like the best hope is like with Franz Wagner's off-ball abilities that he'll fit well next to Palo Banchero.
Yes. Wait. When does Palo come back?
I think Palo. Let me see his time.
Yeah, the Magic have the second best defense, by the way.
He's out indefinitely, so there's no time.
Oh, there's no timetable. Damn. So
Yeah.
Franz is he's he's gonna be doing his thing, man, for a minute. He had one turnover against the Suns, by the way. Just one turnover.
And I like the culture around Orlando. It reminds me a lot of Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah. But again, he's knocking down all kinds of 3-point shots. Step back, catch and shoot. I think that's really catching teams off guard because they don't really expect this Magic's offense to kind of.
Because he's a drive-in guy.
Yeah.
Throughout his career, he's driving in. He's shooting mid-range jumpers, and I think that's where kind of like Orlando in the past has collapsed, especially last season. But now you're seeing he's willing to shoot those threes. It may not go in all the time, but he's comfortable enough to like, fuck it, shoot it,
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I think he is a complete player because of his off-ball abilities.
Yeah,
like right now, he doesn't really have much players to play off of, but he's shown that he can be an off-ball ability when he's next to Palo Banchero.
Yeah, right here, he's not afraid to pull up. The defender goes under the screen, and instantly he pulls up.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm telling you, this is this is like a new man right here.
100%, bro. He is an impressive player, bro. Can you find any clips of this? Do you have any clips of the ball?
Of him moving off the ball?
Yeah.
I didn't put that. Just put like a couple of 3-point shots. I got more of his playmaking, even though, because really he had like a few games where the 3-point shot was really good, but for the most part, his playmaking is what really stood out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is perfect. This highlight right here. So him right here being so big, his ability once again to get in the paint, just touch the paint. Because we all know the
And
Magic. The Magic just have all their players, you know, for the most part, they have a lot of guys who kind of play big. Like once he touches the paint, guys, and he swings it out, guys could just attack because there's really not that much closeout space, man. Like he just draws so much attention. Like look at AD right here. He's caught in a restricted area.
And you see, Reeves is struggling to guard him 1-on-1.
Yeah, it's just too much size and skill and ability to just keep touching the paint every time and kicking out. I can imagine for Orlando, if KCP comes through with the shooting, if they really get shooters, this shit could be deadly.
This shit, exactly. I think the thing is Orlando lacks shooting, but the thing is they have guys who know how to cut to the basket and play off of them, which creates a lot of good opportunities for that team.
Let's see one more of him passing. He's passing from everywhere. So yeah, right here again, him passing out of the high post. Look how everyone just collapses on him. But he stays patient through that. Because again, it's just a beautiful combination of size and skill, man. And just look at that. Yeah. Just look at that. Stays patient. And you know, again, just like Luka, you can see everything.
And you know what you notice about all of these plays, right? Is you can never throw a singular defender at him, which makes him extra scary once Benchero's back. Because now you have to put a singular defender on him because you can't leave Benchero open.
No, you can't. Man, I don't know how they're gonna. I feel like I don't want to say his role is gonna be kind of diminished. I don't know. They gotta work that out. Like
they're gonna have to work it out with timing, bro.
Yeah, or maybe the substitutions. Like maybe sub out Franz like earlier and then have Palo play until like the last 3 minutes and then sub in Franz and have him play with the other unit. So he could be more in that role and then combine them for like the last before you have all the starters back in. Do like a few minutes with them combined. But yeah, like
because they have good chemistry together. But it's just gonna be hard as both of them keep developing their game.
See one more with the pass. Yeah, but again, it's really with the passing that stood out to me.
Yeah. Oh, dude, his passing's incredible, bro. I was watching that Lakers game. I'm like, holy shit, I don't recognize this Franz Wagner.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I've written about Franz Wagner like 3 times, right? And every time I've highlighted his kind of frustrations and weaknesses, but at the same time, I've never really acknowledged his strengths of his passing abilities.
This is another one that stood out to me.
Oh, that's a nice pass.
Yeah, you see how he stays patient?
Yeah. And the team throws a double team at him. Despite the double team, Jalen Suggs is open. Now the defense has to go back and try to close him off.
Yeah, look at that. He hedged, complete hedge right here.
Yeah.
2, he steps
and
back.
Great screen.
He could have easily just tossed it over like this.
And once again, great screen by Goga. He could have committed and maybe get a dunk, right? But just great screen by Goga. Dude, those two great. All his bigs have great chemistry with the Franz. His brother Mo and Goga, they have great chemistry with him.
Yeah, right here he kind of does like a little tap. He like as soon as he felt his defender about to hedge his screen, yeah, he kind of taps Booker in the back. And now you would expect Franz to just dump it over, but he stays patient. He stays patient through this.
But even if he passed it to Goga, it still would open opportunity for Suggs in the corner too.
Oh yeah,
the defender would have to relapse or.
But again, it's great combination of size, skill, strength,
IQ, everything.
Yeah, it's just reading the game. But again, like sometimes when Palo comes back, like he's not gonna have, you know, as many practices at this.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be interesting. I'm about to say the Mavs. The Magic. Yeah, the Magic. I don't know. This offense got to get a bigger boost than 25, number 25. Like, come on. But that defense, man, is no joke. Number 2 in the
Yeah,
league.
the defense is no joke. The thing is, I think they only have 2 offensive firepower, right? And
Mhm.
they're kind of banking on KCP has been healthy throughout the season, but they're kind of banking on him to kind of be an off-ball player, off-ball scorer.
Now speaking of defense, we're gonna go to Amen Thompson and Eason down in Houston.
The Terror brothers, man.
Yeah, they're making a lot of
The Terror
noise.
ties. Yeah, I'm gonna send you this video where Emi Udaka compares Tari Eason to early Kawhi Leonard, because Emi Udaka is a part of the Popovich tree.
I would say Kawhi was the guy I coached when young and does a lot of similar things as far as being disruptive and just taking the ball from people. Kawhi would be the only guy that I saw do it at that level. But his instincts are great. Energy is great, and he gives you a spark every night. So whether you call a play for him or not, he's going to impact the game on defensive end, on the offensive glass, slashing, cutting, offensive rebounds, shooting threes, and all around. So I would say Kawhi is the one guy that he reminds me somewhat of.
All right, so let's take a look at the Terror. What'd you call them? The Twins of Terror?
Yeah,
So right here, Dame is looking for a pick and roll. And you could tell
with Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, Brooke Lopez, you could tell they build on it quick because what's the advantage? You throw a switch here, there's no advantage. You're going to have a man on you. And you throw a switch here, you're going to have Eason on you. There's no advantage at all. This is like a waste.
And Amen is a very lengthy guy, so he matches very well with Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't call for what's his name? Fred VanVleet on a switch.
Fred VanVleet's guy,
Like,
or
yeah,
even
like-
Aaron. I think that's Aaron Holiday, right, on the left.
Yeah, Dame should have called him.
Yeah.
Like, come here. Like, toss a switch here. He was better off just getting a different. Like, these two is like the worst. Like, it didn't make any sense. Like running that pick and roll just now. You run it for an advantage, but look at Dame. Dame got balls, man. Look at Dame gets blocked by Amen and Eason. He would have got blocked by both of them, but they both tapped the ball.
Yeah.
It's just, man. Like, what do you do? Man, the Rockets got they got an interesting situation down there.
Bro,
They really
it's an ideal situation.
Yeah, do you think they kind of stumbled on this by accident? Did they kind of know, okay, we can really work with this right here?
Bro, Tari, Houston fans were loving Tari Eason more than they were loving. Like, I think last year, Sengun and Tari Eason were the most loved players, along with Jalen. Kind of was up and down. Those two were the most loved before Tari kind of fell due to injury. And Thompson also had a very good rookie campaign, right? But I think overall, I think the Rockets, when the Rockets drafted him, the same year as Alfred Şengün, I think one thing the Rockets got lucky on is they landed Emi Udaka.
Yeah, that kind of accelerated things for them to kind of
become
go
defensive juggernauts.
Yeah, to kind of go that route.
Because Emi Udaka is a brilliant defensive coach. Brilliant. That guy can coach a defense. And one thing you notice with Tari Eason, bro, he's the next Draymond Green. Like, whatever you look at it, he can elevate on all facilities of offense and defense. Like, Tari can do just about everything on offense, and he's a great great defender.
Yeah, so Eason right here, man, he loves to jump in passing lanes.
Like,
he gets in that passing lane real fast. These guys, man, they have a great combination of speed and length. He's always getting into a passing lane.
Bro, you are looking at a guy who both guys could end up one day becoming first team all defense.
Wow. Imagine
Brother,
having...
he's only 24. That's the crazy part. Tari Eason isn't even in his prime yet.
Yeah, can you imagine if
Bro, just look how they're everywhere on the court, bro.
Yeah.
Look, Tari making TJ McConnell's life hell. And then you see, I believe, who is this dribbling the ball? I can't see very clear. Is that...
Nah, Whoever it is, man, he wasn't getting that pass off to Pascal. I'll tell you
No,
that.
hell no, bro. Hell no.
Pascal still
Like,
got
bro,
his hands
all
out.
three of them players were in hell. Pascal, McCollum, and let me make sure I give him the proper name.
But look at Amen though, man. Like this is real. And then you got Shingun, who's like kind of like an old school. He has like that old school game to him. Like this is tough. If Jalen Green kind of gets his perimeter D up, this is gonna be a nice combination. I mean, I see why they say, hey, we can put KD around this, like potentially.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Because you're looking at a guy who can just guard, like he can hide your bad defenders, bro.
Definitely gets into that passing lane.
Bro, he's everywhere. On that play, he was everywhere.
Yeah, these guys they love to switch on different positions.
I was watching the Portland game, bro, and Portland struggled to reach the half court. Like it seemed like every time they're on the Rockets court.
Yep.
The Rockets side of the court. Because they were just terrorizing the Portland Trailblazers. They couldn't even reach half court to their spots.
Yeah, we're gonna go over that too. I got a few clips of those too. Look at Giannis on this entry pass, right? Look who's guarding Brook Lopez. You got Amen guarding him.
Thompson.
Yeah, and then look who's helping out.
Amen's a big guy.
Yeah, look at Eason.
Yeah.
Helping out.
You see, Jabari makes it hard for him to even get that clear pass to Brook. Like Jabari does a good job, like using his height.
Yeah, you notice that they got all three of these guys out there at the same time.
You know, and that gives Freddie VanVleet an opportunity to get the steal.
Man, can you imagine KD running with these boys? Like they will get him passes. He'll be shooting open shots.
Bro, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, whoever, like, bro, that's why the Rockets, like, I think these guys are what the Rockets are basing their foundation on because of how young they are and how scrappy they are. Like, these are the guys who win you a championship, bro.
Yeah, I've noticed Eason is like him. I don't know if him or Amen, like which one is like the one that guards the point of attack? Because to me, I think it's Eason, man.
Yeah, Eason does. Amen's a great help.
Yeah, look at Kuminga right here.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to get to the half court line, just like how you were saying earlier with the Blazers.
You know what's crazy? I wrote in my article.
But you see right here, look at the issues he's giving Kuminga. Kuminga got nowhere to go, man. The possession didn't even start yet.
Mind you, these guys aren't starters, bro. These guys only play 21 minutes per game. And look at the havoc they cause on the defensive end. Like, this isn't normal, bro.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. Even in transition, they're going to create... Because a lot of these teams now, they like to run.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams now, they definitely love to run. But even in transition, like, they're giving teams a lot of issues.
Bro, Tari, Eason, Amen Thompson, these guys are perfect for playoff basketball.
Yeah. And then we always forgot, man, what's his name? Brooks is on this team too.
Dillon Brooks is on this team. They have a lot of scrappy guys, on this team. But these two are the main scrappy guys.
I'm just wondering, like, what's Houston's plan if they're really going after another star? This is a nice chase down block on SGA. Usually like SGA would get these.
Yeah, oh yeah. Bro, look at the way I believe that was Tari blocking that shot. Look at the way he uses his length to block that shot, bro. Shai Gilgeous takes his length and his strength to his advantage and gets that easy layup.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tari terrorizes, like these two terrorize the court together, bro. Because even if a guy like with this much finesse, this much strength, this much length, like Shai Gilgeous struggles to score, then who can really score on Tari Eason and Embiid Thompson?
Yeah, once again, Podziemski, point of attack right here. He ain't going nowhere on the men.
And this is Amen finally, like, this is the first clip we've seen of Amen guarding one-on-one. And look at this. Look at the way he gets those steals, man, making it hard for Podorinsky to even cross the half court. Like, this is just active hands and just putting yourself in a position to get steals.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get crazier.
Yeah. And bro, like I said, these guys are only 21, 24. They're far from their potential. And when you have Imi Odaka, right, one of the best defensive coaches in the league, what's stopping them?
Man, it's just harassing Luca, man. Look at Luca. Luca like a little baby, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, take your L's, Luca. We all know you're gonna drop 30 anyway.
And look, you see Freddie Van Vliet being scrappy as shit. And that's the Freddie Van Vliet we're all used to throughout his career.
Yeah, but these guys jump out the gym. I'm not gonna lie, like
Yeah.
yeah, when you got two guys like that can get all the steals and just create havoc, and the men and Eason, man, you got Jalen Green running out in the wings. It's kind of crazy. Where's Cam Whitmore? They really sent him down to the G League.
He's on the D League. Yeah, he
That's
hasn't.
tough.
That's tough. But I think that
Yeah.
comes back to the conversation we're having earlier.
Yeah, where it's just so much competition with the youth.
Yeah, everyone's
just-
trying to find a spot.
Yeah. But their vertical games is crazy with these two.
Yeah, bro. These guys are great. But I knew, bro, like I knew I had to write, like I knew, like right there and there. I'm like, bro, this is a topic which like everyone like. I've seen a lot of YouTubers do a good job covering these guys, but
Mhm.
I'm like, yo, these are the kind of players that kind of deserves their flowers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now look at a man right here. Their vertical, just them getting back. It's just protecting the rim. This verticality is crazy.
This is again.
This guy
the LA
basically
Clippers?
wipes the screen away. I thought this was a
Yeah.
glitch. Sheesh. Look how high up he got. Yeah, let's look at that.
Bro, but you see how hard they make it on Ty Man? Like, look, Ty Man, even when he gets the Ty Man, even when he gets the ball, right? Look at this. Both of these guys have their hands in the cookie jar. Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that shot would be very like it'd be a difficult shot to make.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It makes sense why they're not worried about Şengün being like a power forward size, even though he plays
No.
bigger than his size. Like you got these two guys, if then these guys can get like 30 minutes, 25 minutes plus, like this would be deadly. If these guys can just get a consistent jump shot. it
Look,
would be
Houston
insane.
will cut the fat eventually. I think with a lot of the players they have, but these guys are staying
Oh yeah, for sure.
because if the Rockets lose these guys, then you wasted like your rebuild.
So right here, we're getting more point of attack with Jordan Poole. Of course, we all know what Poole's about.
Yeah.
Man, he's yeah. I even think the shot clock even set, man. That ball was gone already.
Bro, but look how ready like these guys are like yin and yo, bro. They're so perfect together. You see, like once like Eason is able what was it? Amin, right? He was guarding Jordan Poole.
Yeah, he was guarding Jordan Poole.
And you see how ready Tari is to just get the ball and run to his side, run back to the court, run back to the basket to score an easy point for Houston. You don't see, bro. I don't remember a defensive duo that's ever done that in my lifetime, bro.
No, we haven't seen like that. We haven't seen like that in a while.
In a while, where two guys are just like picking apart the offense. Yeah, that's what they're playing with their food, man.
Yeah. So right here is 2v1. Right? A man is getting back. Now, he has good positioning because he's trying to get in the passing lane. But it's just like, man, these guys, even on recovery, once again, the verticality going up is crazy. A man does a full spin to get in position, and he's getting back. And he still gets to this shit.
And this is a fast court. This is a fast break opportunity for the Wizards. But Amin still makes it difficult.
Man, this is gonna be tough. It makes sense. While I was at the game, I was like, damn, how come we can't go up on these guys? I'm like, fuck.
Dude, they're like, damn, they terrorized the league, bro. Like Like you can't do anything against these guys when they're on the court because they got the body and they got the size.
Mm-hmm.
Like Amin Thompson's body's still developing, but dude, Tari Eason's strong as a brick.
Yeah, they got great help defense too, man.
Yeah, bro, the chemistry with those two is crazy.
Yeah, a man is so quick, man.
Amin's quick, but he knows how to use his length.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knows how to terrorize the center position too.
Yeah, he's just so fast. Like he just picks it up. He's not too far away from closing out, just in case there's a pass. But nobody's really open for the Bulls.
I believe that is what.
And this is the important part about Franz. Like he knows how to operate in this position.
Yeah.
Like he's not uncomfortable in this position, even with the defense collapsing. But just look at him, man.
Is that who's that? The rookie?
Yeah, the new rookie for the Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude can dunk though.
I'm not really familiar with this game. I haven't got the chance to watch Chicago yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna replay it twice. Once again, it's just so quick. Oh.
Yeah. Man, Jeff Green still plays basketball.
On the help defense, when he gets around and he blocks you, he just deletes the ball from the screen. Like, he punches that shit so hard, man.
Bro, I feel like you would hear it.
Yeah.
Like, that shit looks like it hurts his palm, bro. I can't lie to you. He's so aggressive with that block.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but so Eason, he really, to me, he disrupts the passing lanes.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy because a man is bigger than him, but Eason plays like a bigger dude.
Yeah, I think Eason's body's more developed.
Yeah, he plays like a bigger dude, man.
Yeah.
Like right here, you could see like how we all know OG is a big motherfucker, man. OG Anunoby is huge, but Eason still gets in his way.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Tony Allen.
Wow.
Because Tony Allen was a dog on defense, bro.
Wow, that's a good comparison.
Like Tony Allen knew how to use his strength, he knew how to use his body, and because of that, he knew how to guard bigger guys like Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
Like those Memphis series, he gave Kevin Durant a lot of problems.
Yeah, didn't Kobe kind of big him up after that series?
Kobe wrote him in one of his you know that coffee book Kobe has? He wrote about him.
Oh, he wrote about him. Damn. Yeah, like Eason, man, I swear to God, like OG is huge. Usually OG dunks these.
Yeah.
But like he still got the tip.
Yeah. Like I get why Ime Odaka compared him to Kawhi, but like I would have preferred the Tony Allen one, but I get why because Kawhi's a bigger star. And I think that just, brings the confidence that you want your players. But Tony Allen, like Tari Eason to me reminds me of Tony Allen when it comes to scrappiness and jumping on the passing lanes, getting steals, just being a hard ass on the defense. But another thing with when we talk about Amin Thompson and Tari Eason is you can beat Tari Eason to the basket, but Amin Thompson's always there to block the shot.
Yeah, them two like with the help defense is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bro, you're in a lose-lose situation.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is some more of that help defense right here. Yeah. This time it's Eason on the help defense. Yeah. Both of these guys, like I feel like they play a lot. Well, Eason is not as big, but he like as far as size, but he plays bigger than what he is.
Yeah. That's why I compared him to Tony Allen.
Mm-hmm. Even if what's his name, Dylan Brooks kind of slips up on defense as he ages, these two guys kind of make up for him. But it's crazy. Yeah. Look at Jabbar. Look at Smith Jr. He's way out here guarding a smaller player. But yeah, look at Eason. Oh yeah, Paul George. Mr. PG. Mr.
Playoff
PG
P.
going crazy out here, man. So it's funny with Paul George. At the end of some of these games. So Paul George, I don't know what's going on with him, but in the game against the Suns, Tyrese Maxey was hot as fish grease, man.
Yeah, dude, he's been awesome this year.
Yeah, this guy was going off, and Paul George, for some reason, like he's down by 2, 5 seconds left. He's running down the clock, and he's almost playing. Like, I don't know. It's just, first of all, I'm surprised they gave the ball to PG in this situation. To me, it should have been Maxey, somebody else throwing a screen.
Embiid's out this game?
Yeah, Embiid was out this game. And, you know, PG, man, like, I felt like he could have came in here more. If he came in here more, I feel like KD would have been compromised. Yeah. He would have had to help out. So PG would have been right here. He could have kicked out. Or at least touched the paint. Just have a foot, just like we were talking about earlier with Franz. Have a foot touching the paint so the defense could collapse. And them closeouts, it's a lot different, man, when guys have to close out on someone, you know, coming from in here in the paint. But just this long midi, man. This long midi is just, man, this is tough, man. This is tough. Tyrese probably don't even have enough time to get that off. But yeah, it's just PG. PG. I don't know. Philly. Usually when teams get new players like this, the hierarchy is kind of being worked out. It's like who's gonna, you know, no one want to step on each other's toes. Who's gonna dominate the ball? Who's gonna be that guy in last second possessions? You know what I mean? It's kind of a gray area when teams just get brand new guys on the team.
Bro.
Now right here,
this clip.
No, my bad.
This clip is just showing Paul George aging, bro.
Yeah, this right here is Paul George tie game. 50 seconds left.
Cody,
no, my bad.
That Cody Martin
Philly's up. Philly's up 2. 50 seconds left. Paul George right here. You know, he has a chance to kind of seal the game a little bit. And just look at the tough shot that he's taking. Man, this is age right here. Once guys get to the lane and they have to take tough shots like this, or they have to pump fake 1,000,000 times, they're not fast enough anymore.
But no, he can't explode. Paul George can't explode anymore.
Yeah, sometimes it takes guys a minute to recognize that shit. It takes them a minute to recognize that shit.
Like Cody Martin isn't that good of a he's okay. He's an okay defender. He's an okay overall basketball player. But it's like, bro, you should be able to explode through Cody Martin.
Yeah, see that again.
What is that? Cody Martin guarding him, right? That's Cody? Yeah, that's Cody Martin guarding him. Paul George drives.
Yeah, he kind of beat him right here.
He gets,
see, it is
Diabetes able to help out.
Yeah, he would have beat him right here. It would have been a challenge at the cup right here, but he just don't. Guys don't have the legs no more after a certain time. See, he beat him in that first step, but look, Cody's right with him, and this is a complete off balance shot, man. Yeah, PG. Like again, the hierarchy is gonna get set, and the way that rookie McCain, what's his name? That's his name, the one with the nail polish. Yeah.
Yeah, the dancer.
Yeah, man, he's gonna TikTok his ass onto PG's spot. I tell you that.
Yeah. Well, bro, I mean, dude, you got a TikToker. Oh shit, hold up. You got a TikToker and you got a podcaster on the same team. So there's that.
Yeah, it's just PG just he got his money and
no, PG's done, bro. PG is done. Like, he's not the same defender anymore. Bro, you telling me, like, bro, that possession should have been him beating past Cody Martin and forcing Diabetes to get the foul.
Yeah. Oh, we're not done yet.
Yeah.
We're not done
Paul
yet.
George is not the same player anymore, bro. I think Paul George, all the injuries on his lower bodies have caught up. I think Paul George, since 2019, has been on the decline, really, health-wise, and I think this is officially all of it piling up now. Yeah. This is why the Clippers were willing to let him go without getting an asset back.
Yeah, but right here, tie game.
Yeah.
So we're still in the fourth quarter. LaMelo just hit a crazy shot to tie the game. PG,
Yeah.
once again, they're giving the ball to PG. And, you
Now
know,
it should be an open lane because the whole lane is clear.
yeah.
You see Grant Williams. Grant Williams is nowhere near the rim.
I just don't think he has the legs to attack it.
No, he doesn't.
Man, so he's going to wind the clock down just like in the Phoenix Suns game. 7 seconds
And he's gonna
left.
take a difficult shot.
Yeah.
Now you give Cody Martin the time to find his position on defense.
Man, that's tough. That is tough, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, at this point, they took him out of the game for the overtime. He didn't even play the overtime.
Yeah, because dude, look how difficult that shot. That shot was unnecessarily difficult. But the thing is like Paul George at this point, he can't explode to the basket anymore. So he didn't want to take that chance for a Grant Williams block.
Yeah, I mean, I can't fault PG, man. He got paid, but we're starting to see why the Clippers kind of bailed out of that whole situation.
Brother, dude, the Clippers didn't even ask for anything back for Paul George. They said, all right, by all means, go wherever you desire.
Yeah, and right now with PG, early in the season, he was in and out of the lineup, right? And I believe what his left leg, he has like a bruise or something.
A reoccurring injury, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that McCain. I'm telling you, he's gonna TikTok his way. He's gonna TikTok his way because he got a nice little mid range. He gonna TikTok his way into PG's spot because he can actually create for himself.
The PG spot,
huh?
He's earned it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But my thing is, where does Paul George belong at this point in his career? Because he's not a 3-and-D player. He's not a good defender. He's living off of 2019.
Yeah, he's not. Because right now, I mean, just to start off the season, we haven't fully seen everything play out yet. They kind of had him. I saw in the last play-in game, they had him on Josh Hart, a non-shooter. And they had Kyle Lowry on OG. Things were kind of weird. With the way,
but he wasn't a great defender in LA either.
He wasn't. I mean, he was playing all right, but it's just I don't know. It's just things are just different now.
It's not Oklahoma.
No, it's not. But right here, McCain. I'm telling you, he's coming for that boy's spot. He could create for himself. Got a nice little bag too.
McCain's a dog. Yeah, McCain, like in all complimentary way. McCain's a dog. Like he can hoop.
He has a nice little bag offensively. I'm not gonna lie. He can catch and
shoot.
He
uses his size pretty well on Dennis Schroeder just now on that clip.
Mm-hmm.
He uses his body well. Yeah.
And he has really good passing skills.
Yeah.
Again, he's part of that class. He's part of that class that you see that come out of nowhere in the draft.
Yeah.
He's part of that class. Like this pass is really nasty right here. Like the Frenchman, I believe this right here, he's posting up. He has good vision. So in that matchup against the Nets in the play-in, there was no PG. No Paul George, no Embiid in that.
In the play-in or the in-season tournament?
I mean, in the in-season tournament against the Nets. I don't know why.
We got too many gimmicks, man. We got too many gimmicks.
You can't even fucking keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can run the pick and roll. He can make some magic happen.
Bro, he's the kind of guy. Look, I think Daryl Morey played a little bit too smart ass. I think we were talking about it earlier. Daryl Morey was too much of a smartass last offseason where it cost Joel Embiid another good season. And it cost the New York... It basically pacified the Philadelphia 76ers to not make the last season urgent.
Yeah, it really hasn't. But, they keep lucking out. They got Tyrese Maxey, and now they got McCain, Mr. McCain right here, man. He's, like I said, man, that nail polish is coming through.
These guys are good personnels to have, but you better pray Embiid stays healthy.
Yeah, but right here he's running pick and roll, and he's not bad at running that pick and roll.
And for Philadelphia's sake, you better pray that Paul George has Paul George picks it up too, because that's gonna be a long contract if they can't get anything out of Paul George.
That last part you just said, that is crazy. Again, guys, some people, they could use their size, man. Some guys are big, they're really not using their size as much. But again, I think that's what being young, the youth, the legs, they're a lot stronger. He hasn't taken
But
so
look
many
how great
82
he is
game
at
beatings.
taking. Look how great he is at taking Jared Allen 1-on-1.
Yeah, but the power in the legs, because PG, we
Yeah.
saw him against remember that last second play.
Cody Martin.
Yeah, against Cody Martin.
Yeah.
He's them legs is done. That's the
No,
difference right here.
Yeah. Like he's able. Look at the separation between those two.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Allen. Like Allen has to recover.
Yeah, that's crazy. This is only year 1 of that PG contract.
Yeah. Bro, it's worse than the Tobias Harris contract. Detroit won.
We'll see. All Philly need is 1 championship, and then the rest of them could be bad years. And hey, it could work out for them.
Well, I mean, dude, the only way you could have a Philly championship is if Embiid just playing 70+ seasons, which is highly doubtful.
Yeah. Right here, McCain. Hey, he's creating for himself, attacking his closeout. Yeah, this guy is not that bad, and him attacking closeouts like this, it opens things up.
Yeah.
Got guys open, and I mean, of course, he wouldn't pass up this shot, but just in case there was a rim protector right here. And Ben Simmons, man,
Probably
like
Cam Johnson, right? Being the rim protector.
yeah, it's just Ben Simmons. Like,
Yeah.
where is he at nowadays? The Nets have a
Is
lot
that
of
Ben
injuries
Simmons or
at
is that
center.
Cam Johnson? Oh, that's Ben Simmons right there.
Yeah, that's Ben Simmons right here. The Nets, I believe Claxton is out. They have problems with their starting center and backup center. They're both like in and out the lineups.
Can you play the clip again?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Let's look at that again.
I couldn't see the personnel properly.
So yeah, he right here goes off ball, kind of loses a dribble.
Bro, look at his vertical, man.
Yeah. And now he's gonna attack this closeout right here. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm telling you, once guys touch the paint, it's like so many fucking options open up, man. It's just
Ben Simmons.
to
What
have.
happened to your perimeter defense?
Yeah. Yeah, the Nets.
Yeah.
It's funny because when you really look at it, the Nets kind of have talent to not be not a playing team. They have enough talent to be like like a team on the fringe of the playoffs, but they shouldn't be like a lottery team.
And the Nets have a lot of good personnel.
Like, but that shows you how the league has changed. Like, look at this personnel. This in today's NBA is a fucking lottery team.
Yeah.
But if you look at a couple years ago, a team like this, they probably would have been in the middle of the pack with Cam Thomas, Ben Simmons, and Claxton in the middle. Like you couldn't be a bottom tier team.
Yeah.
Like that. You probably wouldn't make the playoffs, but you wouldn't be like bottom 3 teams overall in the league. Like that's just crazy. But notice how it's a tight score, man. It's a tight score. This overall game was tight. I think the Nets end up winning this game.
Yeah, I think I missed this game.
Yeah, the
Let me check.
Nets end up winning that game. But yeah, he has some great playmaking ability. This is one last play right here. Let's just take a look at. Like dribble handoff. Man, these dribble handoff moves are crazy. Because it sounds so simple, but it's like Drummond could have faked it. And everyone would have followed McCain. And then Drummond would have just did a Draymond Green and just take it himself.
That was on Ben Simmons to play the help defense.
Mm-hmm. Man, the Nets...
Or close out on Drummond.
The Nets are just too small right here. They're just too small. They got Andre Drummond looking like he's in Detroit.
Cam Johnson guarding the baseline.
Yeah. My man looking like he's Detroit Andre Drummond right here. But yeah, the league is in an interesting spot. The Philadelphia 76ers are also in an interesting spot because that
Hey man, hey,
Their record, the
I'm
record don't fit their roster right now, man.
gonna give Ben Simmons his nostalgia credit. If it was 3 years ago, he would have guarded that pretty well. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. His back fucked him over big time, and his mentality.
That is facts. That is facts. Now right here, jumping to the Minnesota Timberwolves, another team that kind of went through a brand new, transition within their
Identity.
roster. Yeah. So now they're kind of trying to figure things out. And there's a lot of this on their team as of late. Just guys standing around. It's just wow. It should be so stagnant, but Gobert was been open right here. And
Is it me or Randall's playmaking abilities has went down the toilet since leaving New York?
No, but you know what? It takes time to build chemistry. This is a complete different conference, different team, different makeup. He doesn't know all these guys, how they move, where they go. Before Randall fucked up his shoulder on the Knicks, he was clicking, man. He was playing real good. That's why the Knicks won all those games. OG, Brunson, Randall, they were all clicking. And right here, this is, because every team this offseason that changed their lineups, they all kind of went through a similar struggle. Like where everyone's trying to figure out the chemistry. But there's something right here, man, because Gobert, he was already open, but he kind of just gave up on this shit. Look at him. He gets called for the 3-second violation.
I don't know if Randall fits on this team, bro.
I feel like it's too early to call that. It's a little bit too early to call it.
But that like New York Randall would have passed that shit, bro.
Yeah, you know what? There might be a trust factor with Rudy Gobert. There might be a trust factor going on over there with him.
I don't know. I think maybe the system isn't very catering to Julius Randle.
Yeah. And speaking of that system, just Anthony Edwards, man. He's taking a lot of threes, bro. He's taking a lot of threes. I know nowadays, especially in the NBA media, they're clocking these teams. Oh, they're not taking enough threes. But it's like, just because you could take them, it doesn't mean, like I'm seeing the Celtics for certain games, they take so many threes, especially going up against the Cavs. They had like 38 points in the paint and the rest of the shots was threes, and they were only up 5 points going down the stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cavs absolutely shot like shit. They missed so many open threes, but yet the Cavs were only down 5 points. So I'm like, how is that logic? That logic does not work all the time.
But there's more offensive possessions now in the NBA, A lot of teams are looking to shoot it a lot quicker.
They are, but once again, the situation was so ideal. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm going to watch how the season progress. I'm just trying to figure out why the Celtics made a lot of three-point shots. Out of like 100 points, they had 38 points in the paint. But yet the Cavs missed all their open threes. But by the time it came down to crunch time, the last 3 minutes, the Cavs are only down 5.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, man, imagine if, what's his name, Garland hit all those open threes. Or just the other role players that they had. They missed a ton of open threes. This game will be completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, because right now the narrative is, oh, they're not shooting enough threes. That's why they're losing these games.
But bro, I think the problem also is you lost the offensive firepower too with Karl Anthony Towns.
They did. I mean, Edwards is not shooting bad from 3, but there's a lot of early possessions where he just takes a long time to bring the ball down, and then off of the very first pick, the ball never gets passed around once, and then he pulls up and shoots. And then it's this guy standing around. So I'm wondering, how many times can guys keep coming down the court, never even touching the ball to make another pass, and then watching this dude just shoot threes? Like, after a while, that kind of like demotivates certain guys, man. Like, I don't know. Like, this offense, it just doesn't look the same. Yeah, like, Edwards is settling so much. Like even coming off this pick right here, right?
Yes.
Look who's almost the low man. It's Monk. He's the lowest guy, but look who
Hold
he's
on.
1-on-1 with.
Okay. Perfect.
This is Edwards coming off the pick. Edwards could jump over dude.
And he's
get
playing
right
against
here.
a bad Sacramento defensive team.
Yeah, but he comes off this
Yeah.
pick, and it's like, okay, I'm coming off this pick. 18 seconds left is in the
I
shot
believe
clock.
that's-
It's early in the possession, but
And Keon Ellis is the only
Yeah.
one. Keon Ellis giving him a lot of space to operate right
yeah,
here.
I think this is Alexander right here. He could toss the screen, for
Yeah.
Malik Monk not to get to Edwards trying to contest. But look at Edwards. He just like said, fuck it. I'm going to take a wide ass turn and I'm just going to pull up. Very early on in the possession. And then look at Dante and Randall just fucking watching. This is going to be a repeated thing.
Moreno's body language hasn't been ideal either, bro. Like that possession, it was bad body language by Randall.
It has.
Yeah.
Now right here, once again, my man Edwards running the offense with absolutely the green light of freedom. He has Ellis on him. And Doug McDermott is on Randall. Randall kind of could almost screen him. For Edwards to go straight down. Like, this is my issue with teams are not shooting enough threes. But instead, look, he fucking takes a step back.
Yeah, that's a horrible step back three.
This is very.
Because now you have the lane right open. Look, the lane's right open. Who was that? Malik Monk? He's not gonna contest those shots.
Yeah, so
you give
Mhm.
who is that? Kevin? Who's that guy running?
Keon Ellis.
No.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
that's Keon Ellis. Who's the other one?
that's Doug McDermott. That's what I'm saying. Like initially, he could have made that turn.
Yeah.
When Randall had him
Yeah,
earlier,
come on,
he could have made
McDermott?
that turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then look, it's very early in the shot clock. Very early. Yeah, so Edwards absolutely getting the green light out here. But he's still shooting good from three. Is that he just doesn't... Is that... I don't know, man. It's just you don't have to always take the shot, man. So right here, Edwards, of course, running the offense once again. And he's going to miss Randall. He's going to completely miss him. He's going to be wide open. Gonna have his head down. Man,
Yeah, I think that's also the problem is the chemistry between these guys because Randall's also a very ball dominant big.
Yeah, but even on this step back, Edwards has his eyes on the prize the whole time. Like he could have hit Randall off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna replay it again. Like Randall coming off the screen. Like once he hits the step back, like once his 2 feet touch the ground, he had Randall, man. He had Randall. He could have hit Randall. Look at Gobert. He could use that big body to screen both of these guys. But I don't know if these guys trust each other yet. I mean, maybe it's the chemistry. It's still early. It's
very early.
Yeah, it's just maybe the chemistry.
I think a lot of teams are still figuring it out, and the Timberwolves, the Kings, those kind of teams, the Lakers are still kind of figuring out where they belong.
But Edwards, even on this play right here, McDaniels gets a nice little ghost screen right here. And then, Herdier looks like he's hedging. So you would think could be a little play right here for McDaniels. I don't know. What happened to Mike Conley? Because there's a lot of ball handling from Edwards this season. A lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Conley, I thought a lot of responsibilities would go to Randall, too. I can't lie to you.
Yeah. But I think Conley might have took a step down because, he's going up there in age.
His age.
Yeah, he's going up there
He's
in
35.
age. Yeah, so he took a little step down. But again, Edwards...
Like him and Kevin Durant are the only ones from the 2007 class, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Edwards, what really hurt him going up against the Mavericks last season was the decision-making. decision making with the passing. You know, and that's something, you know, Edwards has everything you need to win a championship. The only thing left is experience and his decision making. He can improve on that. He can go levels, but again, look at that. He just, again, with this fucking step back, taking threes. Like, he knocks it down. He's been knocking it down at a good clip. But it's like, damn it, his teammates are left hanging a lot.
Yeah. He freezes his teammates out of the offense. You see Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle.
Yeah, guys are just, and there's rumors that they're already looking to move Dante DiVincenzo. Dante looks completely different on this team versus in New York.
Yeah.
And New York had a ball
Well, I don't think
dominant guard.
Dante doesn't have guys that can really open the floor for him as compared to New York. I mean, no, Minnesota, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Dante was on a team with a lot less talent, but with a bunch of injuries.
Yes.
Yeah, but again, with Edwards is my thing. I've been noticing no one gets to touch the ball. There's been a lot of possessions where it just starts off, and it's like, hey, I'm just bringing the ball down the court. We're not even getting a fucking pass off, and I'm just gonna launch it. Like this right here. He literally just got down the court. He's already launching that shit. Like Randall just set his screen. Nobody's really open, and he's already launching it. And right here, he's gonna draw a mismatch with Randall on Keon.
Yeah.
Keon is stuck, but he doesn't even let it fucking play out. He doesn't even let it play out. Let me see it again. It's so early in the shot clock too. It's not completely early, but he got plenty of time. Randall got the mismatch. Like, this is what I mean. Like, imagine you go down the court and more than like most of your possessions end up like this. Like, you see why the frustration starts to happen.
And the negative body language.
Yeah. It's gonna who knows? Like, I don't want to jump to conclusions because I still think it's super early.
Bro, we're not even 20 games in, so like you're right. What you're saying is it's too early to jump to conclusions, but this is something that Chris Finch kind of has to figure it out.
And right here, very early in the possession again. It's like almost like once you give the ball to Edwards,
It's a dead possession.
Yeah, it's dead. Like, look, step back, doesn't even take the screen. Could have got Kevin Love on the mismatch. Still would have had 10 seconds left. Probably could have came down the baseline.
Oh, for sure. You could take down like a 38-year-old Kevin Love.
Yeah, kick out. Something like this dude is just. I'm gonna take a step back in front of, like, I'm gonna pull straight up off of my defenders, like right in their face. It's almost like he want to take the shot to talk a lot of shit.
Yeah, he wants the highlights. He wants the media coverage.
But he's making them. He's making that's the crazy part. He's making he's shooting like 40% from three.
Yeah.
I don't know if him making it is kind of hurting the chemistry. Sometimes you making it, but it's like, damn, bro. It's like everyone just, he kind of turned into like 2018 LeBron on Cleveland, where everybody just standing around watching you just do your thing. They don't know when they're gonna get the ball. You got what, Rodney Hood, J.R. Smith, all these guys,
Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, all this talent, and you say, oh, my team is a bunch of bums. But hey, it is what it is. I think Minnesota, you know, they're another team.
I think Minnesota has taken I think Minnesota's trying to get their finances together this season. Like, I don't see Randall being there.
It seems like
I don't see Randall being a Timberwolf next year.
That was most of the concern.
I think Naz Reid is going to become the starting small power forward because that guy is not looking to be a career fucking off the bench guy. And you're going to have to shed some fat. Anthony Edwards is young. Rudy Gobert, his game is kind of ageless. I think Naz Reid could potentially become an all-star later on down the line. So I think that's probably the best bet for Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't really see this Julius Randle experiment lasting. I think Randle's probably gonna go. I don't know where Randle would go. Like maybe in Texas where he's from, Dallas. I don't know if Dallas Mavericks and him fits, but like I don't know what team would take Julius Randle. Honestly speaking,
Yeah. But right here is like another cardinal sin
Yeah.
in transition.
yeah,
Look at that. 2 defenders on him. Look at fucking Randall.
And-
Open lane
yeah.
to the
Randle's
hoop.
open for. But my thing is, why isn't Randle running to the basket?
No, like this is they just literally passed it to him.
Mm.
And he just still pulls up. I'm gonna replay it again.
And you got Jimmy and Duncan right there collapsing on him.
See, look, he took a dribble. He took a dribble. He took a dribble. Once you see both defenders collapse on you, you know you got Randall right here.
Yeah. But my thing is, all right, fine, I'll like hold Anthony Edwards accountable. But I don't really see off-ball movement by Randall to get open.
Yeah, but it's almost like Edwards has no patience. Edwards is almost, I don't know. This is Edwards' first time having the green light. I'm not gonna lie. Because remember,
Because he had to share the ball with Carl.
Yeah, with Carl. Yeah, this is the first time we've seen him have the green light, and sometimes he might have that I just got to the league, I gotta get mine syndrome. Like you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Because when he entered the league, he's playing with another first overall pick.
Yeah, he might need 1 month to get off all his shots and get off his bullshit and be like, yo, okay, I had my fun. I had a little bit too much freedom. Okay, now we need to get back to winning.
Yeah, but you have another All-Star. What, Randall's a 3-time All-Star?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So you have an established player.
Man, this is kind of crazy. Now, right here, I'm gonna show you a prime example
Yeah.
of Edwards just really feeling himself. The T-Wolves got a steal, right? And it's 2-on-2, 2v2. You would think they would just like kind of reset. You got guys on the floor, so you don't even have a lot of space to operate on your side, on this empty side. Unless you step over these guys while dribbling the ball. But Edwards, man, it's just, man, Edwards is really in his he really has tunnel vision right now. Again, he has the freedom to do whatever he wants. And I feel like he's not handling it right. Look at that shit. Just straight up pulls up. Fuck it. I'm gonna shoot it anyway. Yeah. You see that? On the left side of him, he has 2 people on the floor. It's 2v2.
Yeah.
Look at that. 2-on-2. On the left side of you got 2 people on the floor.
This is the lost Robert Williams back-to-back nights against Portland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is what I mean. Like, you know, and Randall's in a contract year. Guys are trying to get their money.
Yeah.
You know, just move this family over. Like, you know, sometimes we kind of got to look at these guys from like a human standpoint. And now Randall went from being around a bunch of guys in their late 20s, mid 20s to now he's on a team. He's in a team with like a young bull that's trying to get his. And it's like, yo, dog, I'm trying to get paid. And you about to fuck up my money.
Yeah, Randall took a pay cut, right, to be in New York.
No, he didn't really take a pay cut. I mean, like he's up for contract year right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Next year, I think is optional.
Yeah, it's optional, but this dude right here, the way he started off the season,
man,
Edwards is not gonna make that happen for Randall at all. Sometimes we take away the human element of the game a little bit. We don't really look at these guys from like what they're really trying to achieve, which is
finance. Yeah, of course, it's a job at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, so Edwards right here. Now, he has Rudy Gobert.
Yes.
Coming off the screen, this is sort of like the empty side because everybody's kind of camped out on the other side. And it's just, this has really been their offense so far. It's just a lot of, let's watch Edwards do him. Like this right here, I just wanted to show that. Like This has been the T-Wolves offense all year, right here. This exact.
Mm,
If this could be framed and put on the Minnesota Timberwolves like front office, like once the guys come into like the practice facility, this should be the picture right here. This has been the T-Wolves offense right here. Everybody watching from one side, right? And then you got Rudy Gobert setting a screen, but Towns is not even fucking taking it.
Yeah.
Like this is their offense so far. But hey, I mean, we'll see, man.
It's a lot more unorganized.
Yeah, Minnesota has, they're coming off that Minnesota's coming off that all-star, for Towns
Western
and
Conference.
Edwards, and then they're coming off a Western Conference Finals appearance. So I don't know where they go from here.
And I think Karl Anthony Towns kind of demanded his own, right? Because he was Minnesota's guy for what, close to a decade, 8 years, 8 or 9 years. So obviously, you kind of have to pay your dues. Now it's Anthony. I mean, it's been Anthony Edwards' franchise for a while, but now it's officially Anthony Edwards' franchise.
Hey, it is what it is. These guys, I believe right now, they are in what, 9th place or some shit?
Yeah, right now they've just lost to Houston. Şengün had a big game.
Yeah, it's just this, man. The spacing Karl Anthony Towns provided was really.
It's mixed. I mean, dude, New York's paying dividend on it right now as we speak.
Yeah. The only thing is sometimes he's a liability on defense, but the way he opens things up and makes things so much easier.
Yeah, it makes things easier on Jalen Brunson because he's such an elite off-ball player, bro.
But it also did the same thing for Edwards. Those are the kinds of things that don't come up on the stat sheet.
Yeah, he's an elite off-ball player. So that's why I'm thinking, bro, like if you're Minnesota Timberwolves, you cut your losses with Randall because Randall's at the peak of his career, right? And he's not fitting in. Like he has, 3 or 4 more great years? You go for a younger Naz Reid, 25, not in his prime yet, in my opinion.
You go for a younger Naz Reid. Yeah, Naz.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah,
4 years younger.
Nas is in a contract year, isn't he?
No, he got extended.
Oh, you got extended already. Okay,
Yep.
So I don't know
So
why isn't he starting? He's starting.
He's off the bench.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I don't know what they're hesitant on.
No,
but
they're
I
not
think
hesitant.
He fits a lot better.
They're saving money, man. It just comes down to that. They're saving money. That's crazy. Minnesota waited so long to be good, and the owner's still worrying about fucking saving.
So they're not trying
money.
to go over the second apron.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
But
really
Nas got paid big money. That's what, I think his contract.
So did Daniels. I don't think they're getting.
He got paid 3-year, $41 million deal.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting what they expected out of Daniels.
No, Daniels been a disappointment, but Nas been solid.
Yeah, Nas of course is solid. Yeah. But Daniels,
and I think he has the potential to become the third, second option. To be honest with you.
But you think when they re-signed him, that's what their intention was? It's gonna be Edwards and Naz Reid?
Dude, I don't know what their intention was once they traded Karl Anthony Towns.
It looks like their intention was to save money.
Vinny Johnson. I thought he was Vinny Johnson of this team, to be honest with you.
It looks like to save money. You could look at the draft. The draft told me the T-Wolves are trying to save money.
No, I get that, but I'm asking you, you think Randall is sustainable? Like he so far in the season, it seems like he doesn't fit with what they're trying to do.
Yeah, it's gonna be man. They may have to re-sign Randall because who else is gonna get that's out there?
Why would they re-sign Randall when he could pick up his contract depending on the market?
They could because if they lock him in now, it's gonna pay off longer term when the cap goes up.
But you have to see, you have to see something that gives you confidence to re-sign Randall. Right now, I see no reason why Minnesota would re-sign Randall.
Yeah, I don't.
Instead, I would go for Naz Reid and kind of hope that he becomes their second star because he's obviously every year he's improving.
I wouldn't re-sign him right now, but I'm saying even when that time comes, I just don't see what's available out there that's gonna keep you as competitive. But then
why limit your younger player?
I don't think they're limiting the younger players. I just think like what they're running right now with this 3-point shooting, and it's just not creating good flow. Like Edwards, like, because that's the problem with the analytical guys. They're looking at, oh, Edwards is shooting 40% from 3 or whatever it is, right? But they're not looking at, yo, Dante DiVincenzo is not getting a rhythm. Probably McDaniels is not getting a rhythm either. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of Randall's not getting a rhythm. So Edwards, of course, is making 40% on his 3-point shots. But then you got 3 other guys that should be contributing, not even getting into rhythm. So how many points are you losing there? You know what I mean? Edwards,
I get it.
Edwards can't do everything from night to night.
But like I said, bro, my thing is, bro, like, don't you think it hinders like Nas Reed's development if you keep on with Randall? Because I don't see them becoming a championship team with Randall. What's the point?
Hey, man.
Like, I'm not saying they're instant championships with Nas Reed, but what I'm saying is you have a much more younger and much breathing room if you make Nas Reed your second option, possibly.
Hey, I agree with you. I would say they should have did that before they traded for Randall.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, dude, I thought, like, for me, how I made sense, I'm like, yo, this is the only season Randall will play in Minnesota. Because right now, I don't know if he wants to play in Minnesota.
I think he does. I think he does, hoping that it will work out. But right now, it just looks like Minnesota just dumped money to save money.
I think Randall wants to play for a team in Texas, bro.
Hey, maybe. I was gonna say Houston Rockets, but I was gonna say nah. Houston Rockets ain't it. They're too
He's
crowded.
from there.
Yeah, he's from there, but I don't think that these teams have cap. Like,
No,
I don't think Randall right now is gonna want to take a pay cut either. This is probably one of his only opportunities to actually get a large deal.
This is his last big contract.
Yeah, so you never know. It's not because it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
Once most NBA players hit age 29, you know, the next 5-6 years is not even a guarantee. So,
but you're stuck in a dilemma if you're Minnesota because you have a younger Nas Reed, 25, and you kind of have to juggle that with Julius Randle. So how exactly do you make that work? Because Nas Reed has shown improvements every year, and I don't think Nas Reed wants to be a sixth man of the year when he could close out games on other teams.
Hey, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But right now, it's tough to call because they're gonna have to kind of put Randall with the starters and try to see how it works.
Yeah, I agree.
Yo, maybe Randall might be a good excuse to kind of signal to the fan base, hey, we're trying to win, but in reality, they just really save money, and they're just winging it from there. All they know is that they don't owe the money.
Because they sold it to the former one of the former heads of Walmart and Aaron what's that baseball man, the New York legend, A-Rod.
That sale didn't even go through.
Which one? The one with the Walmart guy?
Yeah. It didn't not the Walmart guy. It was it's a restaurant guy and A-Rod.
I swear it's a Walmart guy.
I have to follow up on that story, but I doubt the league because the thing is, right? Let's say they approve that the sale of that team.
Yeah.
It's gonna
it was Mark. It was Mark.
It's gonna end up. Wait, hold on. It's gonna end up being a low ball. Like what the Hornets they sold for $3 billion. This team is trying to sue the current owner to get this team sold for 1 point something billion, which is
1.5 billion.
Yeah, which is under. That's an amount they agreed on in 2020. Right now it's 2024, and they still haven't paid for the team. So I doubt the owner, knowing that his team is probably worth $4 billion plus today, is trying to sell it for 1.5. I doubt that shit.
Oh, okay. I see. Taylor, what's it called? Taylor pulled out of the negotiations. Glenn Taylor.
Yeah, look at the amount. The amount is too small. It's like 1.5.
You know what's weird? Mark Lore would have benefited the Minnesota Timberwolves because he's also a tech guy.
Yeah, but it's funny because A-Rod and the other guy, they promised to pay that price in 2000, I think 20 or 21.
Yeah.
And it's like years later, and they're still trying to get it for the same price.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if he just resells the team, he could get like 3 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion. Why would he
Yeah,
sell
so
it for 1.5?
yeah.
It doesn't even make any sense.
Fuck. They're on a lawsuit over this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. Because I remember it was a Walmart guy and Aaron Rodriguez bought the team. So I'm like, holy shit. Like Minnesota's finally gonna be a competent franchise.
Oh yeah, you're right. The guy is a Walmart guy. Yeah, he sold. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what it is? He sold some sort of like processing system
He-
to Walmart. He's not really.
You know,
a
he sold the
Walmart guy.
website. He
Yeah.
sold the e-commerce website to Walmart,
Yeah,
and Walmart was able to make it into. Obviously, Walmart just wanted it just so they could compete with Amazon.
yeah, he sold something to
Yeah.
Walmart. But yeah. But those guys, they don't have the equity in reality to buy that team. What they're doing is that they're trying to combine money from other equity firms to buy the team, but they're trying to buy it for a 2021 price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna work, man, because even the other owners are not gonna approve that. Because think about it, they're trying to have expansion and have someone buy a brand new team in Seattle or Las Vegas for like $5, $6, $7 billion. Why would anyone buy those teams for those prices when the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2024 sell for 1.5? It don't even make any sense. It doesn't even
And
make
Glenn
any
Taylor
sense.
he's a very sneaky businessman.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
what it is, he finessed them into being a minority owner of the team. He finessed them into that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The decision making
crazy.
is all on decision making is all on him at the end of the day.
Yeah, but
Because
hey,
Mark Lowe, he brings you he brings you the internet kind of everything the NBA would want in a new owner. Like tech savvy billionaire guy.
all right, bet. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Definitely, you guys check out Syed's Substack in the description below.
Subscribe to Orange Cookies.
Man, appreciate you, and yeah, we're gonna do this again. This is a nice little film session.
All right, bro. Take care, man.
All right, man. Stay up. Peace.
Peace.